Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Brawl Stars Challenges Southeast Asia. This is going to be the season number 3, and I'm your host and caster Necros. Alongside me, it's going to be AJ7 joining me for the monthly finals day number 2. This is going to be an exciting day because yesterday we witnessed 3 beautiful games. Yeah, there was supposed to be 4th, but Revenant and XSpark got a bye win in there and they advanced to the semi-finals. Today we will be witnessing 2 semis and the grand finals of season 3, and after down the lane, after today's day, on 18th of this month, we will be seeing the regional finals as well. It's going to be exciting how things will unfold, but first of all, AJ, what are your expectations from the day? Because I really want to know your opinion, because yesterday we saw some really picky brawlers being picked out there, because not something that we were seeing in the last 2 seasons. We have seen so many new brawlers coming into the picture. What are your thoughts about today's day?
Oh, definitely. Also, we have a new meta right now. So, that pick, the new picks really make sense to me. But when it comes to my expectation, well, we didn't get to see Revenant and XSpark yesterday, but today is the day we're going to see them competing in the semi-finals. And, it's not going to be a tough job for the opposing team to take them down, because they're number 1 every time. They have shown us, they have proven us that they are number 1, and they were the grand finalists and the winners of 2 seasons in a row from the previous seasons as well. And this season they're looking for a 3rd run, and it's not going to be an easy take to take over to the big dogs, right? So yeah, I have a lot of hopes coming up from Sergeant and his team. They have great synergy, they have great brawlers. I'm really excited to see what they'll come up with, like with the new meta, because we just don't have new buffies. We also have some balance changes which gave some brawlers new nerfs, which gave some brawlers new buffs as well. Some of the brawlers who were struggling in the meta are kind of now emerging again, trying to shine, trying to make space in the meta. So yeah, kind of excited for the spicy day.
Oh yeah, I'm also excited for the spicy day as well. But when we just talk about the entire format, or the overview of how this season 3 unfolded, we had a total of 8 teams participating in this competition, and they were playing in a single elimination bracket system, out of which we're left with only 4 more. 4 teams got eliminated in yesterday's matches, and all the matches that you're witnessing is made in a best of 5 manner. From quarterfinals to the grand finals, every match is in a best of 5 manner, and in which out of 5 sets you have to win at least 3 to become a winner, and that is how things have unfolded, and every set is a BO3. So it's a long process, and if you are somebody who is tuning for the first time, you will get to know how things unfold as soon as we kickstart the day.
Definitely. And having said that, we also have some prize money on the line. We're gonna look at that very shortly, but it's gonna be a big day for these guys, because it's the last season, and if they want to get into the grand finals, if they want to reach to the regional finals, they have to pull off something today. But talking about the prize money, we have $1,000 for the first team. For the second team, we have $500, and for the 3rd and 4th team, it's gonna be $250 each, which is great. And you're just not here to win, you're also here for the money in your pockets, right? So yeah, definitely it's your chance, and it's the final season. So if you gotta you gotta pull up with something if you really want to get into the regional finals, if you really want that prize money in your pocket, and a chance to fly to Istanbul, Turkey in the LAN finals in the following in September as well. But there's going to be a big opportunity, and there is no chance that you can experiment with the meta. You can do some experiments. You had your chance during the scrims, but now it's the finals. You have to do something, and it's a big day. They they know that they have Revenant and XSpark in the opposing team, so it's not going to be easy take. Definitely it's big. The pressure is on, but they're here for it. I'm pretty sure of that. After seeing the scrims and all, they were doing great, and scrims will define that if the practice was worth the wait or not.
Oh, definitely. The scrims is where you practice the best and you get the best output out there. But we are also looking forward to the very first game. We will be looking towards the brackets as well to see kind of which games we are supposed to see in today's day. Mostly, if I'm not wrong, it's going to be Seafield versus Revenant XSpark, the first game. The second will be Cutie Patooties versus Wigglyspoo. This should be the ideal semi-final set that we will be witnessing for the first two games, and then we will have the grand finals, and it will be dependent on how things unfold in both the semis. So I'm really looking forward to see how things actually get out there. And when we just talk about the brawlers being picked, yesterday's games were so intense, and just looking at it, I am really looking forward that I really want to see a Nori being picked out there. I mean, we haven't seen her being picked, though it's a very new brawler being added in the game. And I was just going through the storyline about, like, when you just load the game, you see Kenji and K is there, and you see Nori running away from. That's a beautiful screen in the game if you haven't seen so. But it looks pretty nice, and now I'm really excited to see Nori. Maybe if not in this Season 3 finale, maybe we can witness her in 18th action. So I'm really looking forward to it. But also, when we just talk about those brawlers being picked, so many bans came in for Surge, and I am just having that delusion in my mind that if somehow Surge gets allowed, will there be anybody to pick Surge and kind of wreck the lobby?
Definitely, if it will be open, there's no chance no one is gonna pick him. Like, he is literally dominating in each and every single map. We have seen a Surge pick yesterday in the South Asia region, quarterfinals, but it was not in. It actually came out to be the fact that it was really good, even in heist. Surge was never meant to be a brawler to be played in heist, right? But now that he has his buffies, it's just pure, he just demolished the opposing team. But you have to be very careful, because it is not gonna be an easy task for him to get his supers in open maps as well, since he struggles with the range in the beginning, despite having a super already equipped when the match starts, if you have that right star power equipped. But still the range is pretty less, and you have that movement speed. You have to manage to get your super somehow. But if you get your hypercharge, it's just pure chaos. It just jumps around. But having said that, we saw some of the bans which were very common yesterday in the global bans as well. Damien was somehow in the global bans as well. In the previous season, we saw him a lot of times in the general bans or just being pegged. But it was the first time, I believe, he was in the global ban. And, surprising enough, I didn't see anyone picking Otis against him yesterday, because, it's a great counter. And I was wondering why so. But, it's a new meta. So these players know, what works better and what kind of scenarios. But, it's going to be Revenant XSpark now. And I can't wait to see what really, they have us to show on the table, because Nori, as you mentioned, is a new brawler, and we haven't seen him even a single time yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many brawlers that we kind of anticipate to see for maybe at least once or twice in the entire day, but we haven't had a glance of them. But also, when you just talk about those pretty default brawlers out there, we've seen Otis being picked out there, we've seen Frank there, we've also seen Rico being picked a couple of times, if I'm not wrong. We have also seen a Daryl pick, which did not actually go the way it was supposed to be. And you were discussing about it, Asia, that the Daryl pick yesterday was some of a big gamble that costed the team too much. And yeah, that again brings up a lot of questions that that is still not a brawler that you should go for. There are plenty of other brawlers which you can try out and use it in your comp. We've also seen a Penny and Gus being picked yesterday. So a lot of new brawlers which we haven't seen in the past 2 seasons have been picked. And maybe in today's day we can anticipate that there will be some more picks that we can kind of anticipate. We can kind of look forward that this brawler or that brawler can be picked on. Maybe that can be used precisely in the comp. And but yeah, that is where I'm really looking forward to, because the first game, as far as I know, it's going to be Revenant XSpark versus Seafield. But the fact is that we've got some news in from the backends that Revenant XSpark, the 2-time champion for the Brawl Stars Challenger Southeast Asia, they have forfeited the first match, and Seafield will advance to the monthly finals finale directly. And that's a crazy news for Seafield. Just imagine, you had a plenty of a time to kind of strategize. You had a really great day yesterday, and right away you are in the finale of Season 3. Nothing can be better than that for them.
I mean, that definitely, the confidence must be on peak right now because, Revenant XSpark is a team you definitely don't want to face. And, in the day two first game itself. And, that's kind of surprising and unfortunate enough for all the Revenants fan out there. We didn't get to see them yesterday. We're not getting to see them today as well. And in the season, in fact, but they were the 2 times champions from the previous 2 seasons. But this time around, in the semis, they just forfeited, and it's quite surprising. But it's going to be a great news for Seafield, as you mentioned before, because I mean, the threat is gone now. Like, probably they were worried that they might have gotten just eliminated in this one. But having said that, we are going for a small break. We'll be back with another matchup right after this.
We went for a short break and we are right back with the action. Yes, it was unfortunate to see Revenant XSpark forfeiting their match and Seafield getting a bye win, and they advanced to the grand finals directly. But we have the next game in line, which is going to be Cutie Patooties versus Wigglyspoo. This is also a very interesting matchup in which we will be looking forward to, because once again, Wigglyspoo, they were the 2 times grand finalists of Brawl Stars Challenges Southeast Asia. The first time they had to forfeit their game, second time they lost against Revenant XSpark, but the third time, this is their chance. There is no Revenant XSpark, and this can be an ideal, easy peasy win for them if they continue their dominance.
I mean, definitely. They have their chance now. Every time they faced Revenant XSpark in the grand finals, right? So now the threat is gone. All they gotta do is defeat Cutie Patooties in order to advance in the finals. And I don't think so. That's gonna be a very hard job for them. But Cutie Patooties, they're not less either. Like, they know the drafts are good. They execute so well. We have seen them playing around, in a great, with great synergy, you can say, with great chemistry. And than the teammates. But Wigglyspoo team, we know how experienced they are. They have world champion and great experience, great LAN experience as well. So that brings a lot on the table for the team itself. It is gonna be tough to defeat them, but you gotta pull up with a miracle if you want to win against them. If not, they'll advance, and this might be the chance for them to take the grand final this time around because there's no Revenant XSpark.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's the point I was pulling up with, because Revenant XSpark, they have been a big hurdle for almost every other team who came in the competition, and they tried their level best to be the champion. But right away, when you have the big Goliath out of the question, this is your chance to shine, and probably a best possible time to rise up and do something extraordinary for yourself. Wigglyspoo, they did have a good time in the entire Southeast Asia Challenger series so far. I mean, in every season, if we kind of look in their aspect, but when you just look down for one missing piece which was there in their entire campaign, was just being and having that winner tag on their side. So yeah, that they can just complete by in this season 3 itself, so they should not have much problems. But again, it depends on how things unfold, because Seafield is also a good team. They will put up some good show out there. They will put up some good competition, and that is how things are supposed to, because Seafield, the kind of game we witnessed yesterday, it was an evolved version of Seafield that we witnessed from Season 2 to Season 3, and that is a great thing in my opinion, because when you really learn from the mistakes that you have done in the past and you improve and do something better, it is always a great thing to watch.
Definitely, they're merging. The tactics are getting better. Their team synergy is getting better, and the draft are getting more precise. Season by season, day by day, in the scrims or even in the event, they're doing great so far. But I would say, I hate to say this, but the meta is messed up. And now that we have more and more buffies being added, we have the previous buffy brawlers, left open every time. Because the new buffy brawlers are more of a priority to ban them, despite the fact that you get the option of global ban as well, and the normal bans are there anyways. But now that we ban new brawlers, but I think it's just great. Okay, I think we're getting news, and Revenant XSpark has just showed up once again. I believe in, yes, we're gonna see Revenant XSpark versus Seafield is the bracket, and yes, for all those Revenant XSpark fans out there, you're not missing out anything today. We are gonna see the matchup. They are back, and the threat for everyone, the hurdle for everyone is now back on the table.
Oh yeah, Revenant XSpark, they are back, and we will be witnessing the first game itself. And yes, Seafield will be staying in the semi-finals, so they have to kind of wait, and they have to play against the mighty Revenant XSpark to kind of see how things will go, because Seafield will definitely have a tough time. Not an easy way where they were looking forward to entering the grand finals. But yeah, Revenant XSpark versus Seafield. Yes, both of the teams are live in action, and in some minutes we will be diving inside the game. But quickly having a look on the roster, we will be having Huntman, Raymond and Voidy on the side of Seafield, and while you look on the other side of the spectrum, you have Sergeant, Superwalking and X9J. We have been waiting to see these guys play from yesterday in the Season 3. So yep, they are back. They will be looking forward to put their 100% efforts and get back in the grand finals, and also maybe win it for the third time.
I mean, definitely they're here for a long run, and we know how disastrous these players are. They are just GOAT every time. They have won 2 times and on the previous seasons as well in the grand finals. But now, as we mentioned before, we thought that Seafield just, cross the hurdle out of nowhere and reach to the grand finals, but it's not gonna happen anytime soon since they're back. We have Huntman, Raymond and Voidy. They played magnificent yesterday, to be very honest. Like, they were very good on the brawlers. Most of the time it felt like sometimes they were in their comfort pick, but they did great. But now Revenant is back, and they have to really do something. They have to pull up with something in order to win this matchup. And if they do, they get into the grand finals. But it's not going to be an easy take, because we have the Beast and the opposing team, and they have so much LAN experience, and it's not going to be easy.
Oh yeah, indeed, it's not going to be easy. It is going to be a tough experience for their opponents. And once again, Revenant XSpark, the kind of form that they have been into, and we've seen how Sergeant, Che, and Superwalk, they have been playing for the last 2 seasons. They are a force that you should not reckon with, but you don't have options. If you want to be on the top, you have to defeat the Goliath who is sitting there. And Revenant XSpark is just more like that. If they are the final obstacle that you need to defeat in order to have that champions tag beside your name, and that is certain if you are somebody from the Southeast Asia circuit. They are the best team, there is no doubt about it. Wigglyspoo, they are the second best at this point in the competition because they have already defeated Revenant XSpark, they've already defeated Wigglyspoo once. So if they do it once again, we can settle the debate here and now. Or otherwise, if Wigglyspoo just comes up with an Uno reverse, then we can say that yes, the debate is still going to be on.
Indeed, Necros, it's gonna be a great fight. And this time around, we were talking in the previous season about the fact that will Wigglyspoo be able to, do their revenge game, the Uno reverse you're talking about. But they have their chance even now. Like, we know that Revenant XSpark has already qualified for the regional finals. They're just here, to chill around again. But we are getting into the draft of the first game of Day 2 Season 3 Southeast Asia. And it's gonna start off with the bans. Kit, Damien, Connor Ruffs, Damien again from both sides. Surprisingly, Colette and Ali. So we have the general bans. Surge is commonly banned out from both sides in the global bans, whereas Meg and Star Nova is out of the equation as well. Raymond is going to be the first one picking up 8-bit, which is again a new buffy brawler. And is extremely strong, as a very good gym carrier, I would say. He has so much mobility. And 2 instant picks coming in from Revenant XSpark side. We have Max, which is also a buffy brawler who got buffy in this season, and she's amazing when it comes to giving support to the team. The speed, it just gives so much mobility. And we have X9J as a combination to get that area control and damage. And I really it already looks good for me for Revenant so far, because you have the wall break and the speed, but the damage is there for Raymond as well. Okay, so like Void is gonna be the one picking up Rico, another buffy brawler, which was a new addition recently with buffies. But I think among the buffy brawlers is the weakest. But talking about the game mode, I think as a very trade brawler, he has the ability to bounce through walls. But we still have 2 more picks left. It's gonna be Mina, so they're going for aggression, speed, aggression, damage, and then some craziness with the bouncing balls, and the damage will be there from Rico as well when he gets his hypercharge especially. But Huntman will be hunting some brawlers out there with the Mina. Again, a very, very tanky option, and it's just not a tank, it's mainly an assassin. It's a very great, I think viable pick in this map combined with the brawlers they have in their team. But Sergeant Clash is going to be the final person picking up Sandy. We have not seen Sandy much, but I believe we have seen Sandy in the previous season, but not in this season so far. But okay, I think there's also a great brawler to give the team huge support. You get that big area with invincibility. You have speed from Superwalk and X9J with the area. That's a deadly combo, not gonna lie. And Seafield, they have to do something with the comp they have. Okay, so we are going into the game right away. Superwalk is gonna be the gem carrier, I believe. And yes, also with the buffy, he gets double dash now. 8-bit has the range, he has the gadget as well. Superwalk just on time, he backs off with 78 HP. But a kill on Sergeant by YD is gonna be enough to create the pressure on and give Huntman some room to pick up 2 gems as well. X9J trying to hit some shots, but goes down to the Rico, and the damage is coming from Sergeant as well. Void is just maintaining his distance. Super walk with the speed, and he just gets back on time. The damage booster is there behind the unbreakable wall, which is going to be a threat for the Revenant XSpark. So far, so good. 3 gems on the line, and a super coming up from Void. That can be a kill, but the gadget just on time. Sergeant stuns too. He has invisibility. They are going to create so much pressure that as well. Like they can just go into the enemy spawn, and that's what they're doing. So Sergeant has that area control as well. He has the damage, but Huntman with the gadget gets a connection. X9J is low. He has to back off, but he has to respect the 8-bit damage, and he goes down. Super walk is there with the hypercharge. 6 gems on the line. Sergeant gets the speed along with X9J getting his hypercharge a little bit, and another super coming up. So super walk, he got 2 super with 1 hypercharge. They're creating the pressure. Like the red team had all the things they needed, but a kill on Sergeant is going to create some room as well. Voidy is trying to come forward. He has the gadget just in case to block all the shots, but X9J with the super is also a threat. Huntman with the hypercharge, he plays it behind the unbreakable one. Once again, Sergeant is in a very bad position. 260 HP. Countdown starts. Super J just the Super J combo is being deadly there. Together with 1 gem on J's head as well. They just need one of kill on that side, but Sergeant takes down in the right hand side of the map, and it's gonna be enough. And first game coming up from Sergeant's team, which is Revenant XSpark taking game number 1 in gem grab. You can see the showing what they're made up of. They've always dominated, and they're still doing so. It's just a matter of time. We'll get to know if it's gonna be a 2-0 set, but having said that, let's get into the game number 2. Whitey is trying to get aggressive, trying to get some connection on Sergeant, but Sergeant with the gadget says no. But a very, very cheeky position for Super Walk is going to the enemy spawn. Raymond as low, he has to die with that interaction as well, and it's complete team vibe coming up from Revenant XSpark, and 0 gems for now for Seafield. Super Walk is trying to get a super, whereas the hypercharge is already there. He gives the speed to X9J along with hypercharge as well. More shots coming in. Another hypercharge super within the 1, and gets another elimination on Huntman. They are not able to do anything. Voidy has to do something, a super mess, because Super Walk just does his gadget on time. A connection, that was what Voidy needed in the last second there. He could have killed Super Walk there. His low is in a very bad position. He might secure a kill, and yes, he does so. There's an interaction going on in the right hand side. Sergeant wins it so far. Huntman is low. He has to die with that sandstorm, but he just manages to stay alive. But Superwalk is going to take him down. 11 gems on top of his head. Double gadget. After that, Buffy is going to help him stay alive. And just 7 seconds more for him to stay. And it's going to be enough for the Revenant XSpark to take set number 1 in gem grab. Wow. Amazingly done. I mean, they really did, and you can see the happiness in X9J's, Superwalk's face. They're very confident as usual. They know what they're made up of, and they are dominating so far in the event. It's just it's just pure dominance so far. We see the draft was not really bad either from both sides actually, but I think the execution and the max speed, that was just too good. Like, it was, Max was providing all the speed and everything, just on time. But, Voidy, I think he was able to manage, he was managing to create room for his team all alone. But, it's kind of sad to see that he was the only one trying to make some room in that area. But having said that, 8-bit was a gem carrier. He was a great gem carrier, but it was just not enough because the dodge from Superwalk was enough. You can have a look in the highlights how things went in the previous game. This was the first game, whereas you can see they were just getting benched. Jay and Superwalk was just amazing on the specific brawlers, whereas Sergeant, he was not worrying about dying a lot. He was just creating pressure and giving the team all the support they needed with the area control, the hypercharges time to time, the invisibility. Everything was precise and amazingly done. So we have the set winner, which is Revenant XSpark. No surprises so far, but Seafield, we need to see something coming up from you if you want to stay in the event. And first set goes for Revenant XSpark, and Sergeant Clash is gonna be the one being the MVP of this matchup. 6 kills on his head, 6 death as well, but look at the damage per second. It's 230. I mean, so 283.15. So far, so good. It looks like a traditional Revenant Spark when they have only lost a single set throughout the Brawl Star Challenges series. Southeast Asia was the only set, I believe, in Brawl Ball that they lost once. But head to head with Huntman, we have 5 kills on his head and 4 deaths. 265.04 damage per second. I mean, well played both sides. They were doing great. Voidy was trying to create some pressure with the Mina, but it was not enough, I guess, because the speed coming up from Super Walk, the area control coming up, and the damage coming up from Jay. And we had the invisibility time to time from the Sandy. It was just amazing. And, that made him the MVP to Sergeant Clash, yet again shining high for his team, creating the pressure on the right-hand side of the map. And that was a clean victory over, Huntman from Seafield. Having said that, it's going to be Brawl Ball now. And now we're getting into the draft. First pick is going to be for Seafield, and with that we can see all the best brawlers were banned by Revenant XSpark already, because definitely if they don't have the first pick, it makes sense to ban the best one. Damien, 8-Bit and Crow is out from Revenant XSpark's side, whereas Dynamite, surprisingly, and Ali and Damien banned out as well. Damien is the common ban. We have Raymond picking up Lumi, which is a great area control brawler, and I think yes, she has so much potential. She can stun enemies with the super. She has the eye. Okay, we have Super Walk once again. I'm quite surprised how this brawler was still open. Neither banned nor picked from Seafield's side. And now we have Super Walk once again in the max. Is going to shine for sure. He was just amazing gym carry in the previous game. But the objective is different this time. All you got to do is give your speed to the team, and you can just go for easy walks in, or just trying to eliminate enemy brawlers just on time. But Revenant XSpark Sergeant Clash comes up with Sergeant coming up with Spike, which is quite unusual from the Revenant XSpark side. But having said that, I have I'm being joined by Clashing on the caster desk. How are you doing, buddy? And what are your hopes with this coming matchup?
Yeah, very good and very excited right now, AJ. I couldn't even wait for this game to finish, no, because I was so leaned on and excited to catch a Revenant XSpark game. AJ, yesterday we all have been waiting for Revenant XSpark to show us some action, no? But the other team gave them a bye and they easily, progressed towards the semi-finale. But that all is not going to be that all easy once again, because this is the semi-finale stage, and Seafield, they are putting on a great challenge for Revenant XSpark.
Indeed, and the draft so far is pretty precise as well. I like you have the area control. You have two area control brawlers, which is gonna be Ems and Lumi on the right hand side from Seafield, whereas we have Huntman picking up Trunk, which is an amazing tank. He can heal up at times as well. He has great mobility with the super and just with the normal shots as well. I like that pick quite a lot. It is really great to it was a predictive pick maybe for Shade, because he counters shades, and if there are a lot of walls, then it's a great brawler anyways. But having said that, we have Jay picking up once again Griff. I like that brawler. He deals so much damage. He has the area control as well with the super, and especially against a brawler like Trunk, it would really work out well, I believe. And from up close, he deals more damage. He can open up the walls, making it difficult for the Trunk to work as well. But we are jumping right into the game, and Super Walk with double dash gets the easy goal in within the 30 seconds of the game, and that was just clean and precise after the buff. He gets double dash, and he used it so well, clashing.
Man, oh man, what a game it is. And they've started right off the bat. Now, this is the kind of game you expect from a team like Revenant, XSpark, and Sergeant once again with yet another goal. Can you believe this? Well, I can, AJ, because we have seen Revenant XSpark do this kind of a crazy stuff so many times. Can you believe it? Like just 20 seconds in the game mostly, and the game is already over. They've won that first round, and let's see if they'll be able to secure a second round victory as well. Sergeant on that spike. Nobody was expecting a spike out of all of a sudden, and then such a dominating spike, to be very honest. Sergeant, whichever brawler this player touches, that brawler turns into gold no matter what. Sergeant gets another good kill on that Ems. This time, Hitman, he does have his super though, but now won't be able to survive. Super walk going all in. No, he missed that shot, but it doesn't matter at all because there's no one to defend the goal zone right now.
Sergeant with a hypercharge places in the middle of the map, but Hitman just gets stunned by Sergeant. He gets an elimination too, and he goes down. Super walk with double dash. Is it gonna be enough? And a walk in, coming in once again. That was easy. That was butter. That was a cakewalk for Revenant XSpark. They're not even surprised. They know that was just easy for them. They're just passing their time to move into the grand finals real quick, as if they're in a speed run. I didn't even get to cast the previous game properly. Like, and the game just finished, bro. It just started, it just finished, and oh my god.
I have no idea what that was, AJ. And as you rightly said, so I couldn't even give you a throw because 20 seconds, that's all they took to finish a single round. And I think only Revenant XSpark can do this, and they've done this in season 1 as well, if you remember, AJ. And now this is season 3, and this team, they're still undefeated, they're still over the top, and they deserve to be on the top, right? And if this keeps up in this pace, then they are going to be the grand finalist as well. And remember, AJ, they've already secured 2 championships. They were the season 1 champion, they were the season 2 champion, and they are on track to become the season 3 champions as well.
It's funny that we're seeing highlights now, because the main game itself felt like highlights, to be very honest. And they're definitely here for a long run for sure. Like, they want to hit that hat trick when it comes to the championship. They really want to show the world that they are the best in their region for sure. They have been just phenomenal throughout the series, and that's another easy set win coming up. And Surge and Clash once again, the MVP, 12 kills and 7 deaths, 383.96 damage per second. I mean, I'm quite surprised the game ended so quickly. He still managed to secure so many kills. Wow, what a goat. And they're the definition of pure dominance. Definitely.
Agreed, AJ. They are the definition of pure dominance. Not only at this stage, but at any global stage, right? Especially Sergeant. And I was just saying how he utilized Spike to its full potential. See, when I even during the game, I did say that whichever brawler this player touches, that brawler turns into gold, to a great brawler to be played with, because you have so many other options as well. It was Brawl Ball, Damien, Ash, Mag, Star Nova, and whatnot, right? Surge is mostly getting banned, though I love playing Surge. And I don't know, man. I think the teams, maybe they are happy, maybe they are a bit relieved that Bolt is out of the picture, completely out of the picture for this tournament. But at the same time, as a caster, I would have loved witnessing some Bolt action on my screen.
Definitely, it's just the mobility is insane, and it's just so fun to watch him wander around the map no matter what the mode is. But it's gonna be the next game mode. We're jumping into the draft and Super Walk with Byron pick. This time around, they know Seafield knows the threat of that max. They know, they respect the speed that they give, and now it is banned out, followed by Damien and Brock as well. Whereas Revenant XSpark with Jayon, Najia, and Angelo as a ban. Okay, I mean, these brawler really make sense when it comes to that game mode. But having said that, Raymond, we have a Nani pick, amazing brawler, and now Nani's counter has been picked as well, which is Piper. So they're not letting Revenant pick Piper so far. They were waiting for get 2 picks in a row, and they went with Nani Piper, which is a deadly combination. You have that range, you have that homing projectile with a gadget to secure a free kill. You have a gadget for Nani, you can reverse the damage, but Revenant XSpark is not picking a brawler with single high DPS HP, damage projectile, right? You need a brawler which can deliver back so much, damage when, you apply your gadget with Nani. But the picking brawlers, even if you reverse that gadget, it's not gonna be that much of helpful, right? We have Edgar. As I mentioned before, now that we have more set of buffy brawlers, the previous set of buffy brawlers have more chances to stay unbanned, so they are there for the picks and they're still good. It's not like the new buffy brawlers totally made them terrible, right? We have Sergeant picking up Edgar, which can be great, but X9J has the ability to cocoon, especially that brawler coming up from Huntman, which is Frank. When he supers, let's say, you can just cocoon him in the mid way, right? And Sergeant can help get skills as well. So far so good. I really like the draft.
Well, completely. I completely agree with you because Charlie with that cocoon is going to completely deny all the supers coming out from Huntman's end. But you'll have to time your super very precisely. But Sergeant, on the other hand, he can definitely farm out some of his supers by getting some good kills in the mix. I think just yesterday we were discussing, AJ, how Edgar is mostly out of the picture now. Nobody's banning him, nobody's picking him. But finally, Sergeant, firstly, he utilized that spike, and now he's back with an Edgar. And you can never ever rule out how confident you get when you're playing on a brawler, on an assassin like an Edgar. At the same time, you can never forget how deadly that brawler is and has been for a long time now.
Definitely interesting gadget choice from Sergeant Clash as well. He has the shield, but he goes down, but double elimination for Revenant XSpark as well makes it a 2v1 situation already. And I really like the approach. I really like the gadget choice as well. There was no use coming in, but we can see the Voidy preferred going into the smoke, not feeding Revenant XSpark much. But if we look at the comp ones, when it comes to damage, when it comes to wall breaker, Nani and Piper is the only wall breaker, so they can break up their wall that Piper just did just to avoid spawn traps, whereas Revenant XSpark have no wall breaker. But I don't even think so they need to break the wall to avoid spawn traps. They are the one spawn trapping the enemy team despite the wall is open. They are creating all the pressure. Sergeant gets the healings, he jumps, he has a gadget. This is gonna be enough. He might secure a kill. He does so, and healing coming up from Super once again. Whitey is using a super mud. Gets cocooned in midway. Sergeant is happy about that. He knows that they're gonna win this one. And even if there was no cocoon, that was a mess super anyway, since there was a barrel there. There was an obstacle between. So it was an easy win. Once again, it's just a cake for them. Clashing. They're just showing pure dominance, just like every time. And I'm not even surprised so far.
That's Revenant XSpark for you. They've been doing this for the previous 2 sets, and this is the 3rd one. It seems like they're planning to make sure that their streak is unbroken.
Wow.
They're mostly secured a 3-0 victory in most of their games. Sergeant goes all in, and they're not wasting any time at all. Just look at them. Sergeant, he does have his super, but he does know that the team is not that needy. The other 2 brawlers are sufficient to take down a Piper, and with this, another round in favoring Revenant XSpark.
Whitey with the super, but gets cocoon just on time. That's the objective, right? For the Charlie, you just have to use your cocoon when you see the threat. And Nani is the only one alive, which can be enough for Sergeant to just jump off, take up the victory. That was easy, and Revenant XSpark moves into the grand final after that smooth take over Seafield, and Seafield with 0 set win. That was a 3-0 coming in, and Revenant XSpark so far combining all the seasons 1, 2, and this 3, so far so good. Revenant XSpark only lost a single set
Yeah.
throughout these 3 seasons. Right, it was one game that they lost in Heist, I believe, when they picked Kit, and Sergeant was missing Buzz Super, but avoiding that one, they are just dominating, winning all the sets throughout the series, and once again they did so. Can they do it in the grand finals? They have finally arrived at the grand finals. Who is it gonna be facing Revenant XSpark? Let's find out.
Well, I'd love to know that. Semi-finals 2 will begin shortly, so do not go anywhere. Let's take a look at the highlights now. Though the whole game felt like a highlight, Edgar, that is Sergeant, he was on fire, and just look at him. Look at him. I think this was the only time he even utilized that hypercharge, and it was not even required because the other brawler was already cocooned. There were like 3 of you already around him. So yeah, those hypercharges, they did utilize them well, but they weren't even necessary. They would have won without those hypercharges as well. With this, it's a 2-0 victory and a 3-0 victory in the whole of best of 5 series. And as AJ mentioned, with this Revenant XSpark, this is their third back-to-back season, third consecutive season where they are a part of grand finals. They've already won 2 grand finals in season 1 and season 2, and this is season number 3. And if they do end up winning this one, man, there's no other team. I don't know. I cannot see even a single team that can best Revenant XSpark at this point in SEA.
Indeed, clashing and winning every set, winning every game for the team, and winning the MVP every time. It's gonna be Sergeant once again with the MVP, 18 kills. I mean, I'm not even sure how you can get 18 kills in knockout, but okay, nevertheless, he has 312.03 damage per second. Amazing player. What a game that is. And
Yeah.
I mean, he's just
AJ,
dominating. He's
what
just showing us the best.
makes all of this even more dominating is the fact that both these games they finish off so early. Like all the sets that we have seen, they were finishing most of them. You remember that Brawl Ball game, right? I think for winning both the rounds of the complete set, all they took was less than a minute. So now you know how powerful this team can be.
I mean, it felt like the draft took more time compared to
Yeah,
the both
definitely,
games
yeah, I agree.
combined. The draft took more time combined, both games combined. It was just pure dominance in it was cyberbullying, I would say, especially in Brawl Ball. I didn't even get to cast that one properly. It was just so quick. And that's what they do. That's what they're here for. They are here for. And, let's remind our audience the fact that they're already qualified for the regional finals. I don't know what they're doing. They're just here for the fun. They're just here to show the world that they are number one no matter what in this region.
They definitely are. There's no doubt. But I cannot say anything against that statement because they've proven themselves to be winning 2 consecutive seasons. That's enough testament, I guess, AJ. And this is the third one. They're already in the grand finals with a 3-0 semi-finals victory. So that says a lot about the team, about the leadership, about the coordination. But there's only one team that can maybe best Revenant XSpark, and that is Wigglyspoo. We have seen this in season 2 grand finale. It was Wigglyspoo where they've lost a single set, and maybe this time Wigglyspoo, maybe they can figure out something. They can come up with a strategy, and maybe they can 3-2 Revenant XSpark. So yeah, I will be surprised, but that is what I am hoping for because I would love to see some team putting on that challenge where we get to see at least that 5th BO5 series when any of these teams is facing Revenant XSpark.
Definitely, and now that we have new set of puffies, it's gonna create, it's gonna give more opportunities because maybe Wigglyspoo, the players or one of those players who are very comfortable with these specific brawlers who got the buffies, so maybe they'll dominate with these one, but they'll most likely to be banned because they're new and they're overpowered, and definitely Revenant is not gonna keep them open. But we're saying all this with a perspective that it's gonna be Revenant XSpark versus Wigglyspoo in the grand finals. Maybe that might be a possibility. There are high chances, but we are not sure yet because You never know, underdogs pulls up with great moves sometimes, and they prove us strong many times. Sometimes the player proves us strong, sometimes some specific teams proves us strong, and I've seen this in the series as well. Some players proving,
Yeah.
are strong, and sometimes, but wow, what a game that was from Revenant XSpark, and they moved to the grand finals from a team who we thought were forbidding and like probably will give Seafield. I mean, Seafield probably is not happy with that. They probably thought they were in the grand finals, but Revenant XSpark came and they did what they always do. But still, it's not sure yet if it's going to be the Wigglyspoo team in the end.
Definitely, I would love to rephrase what I just said. I think it was only Wigglyspoo in season 2 that managed to get a set out of Revenant XSpark, but at the same time, it is Cutie. We have already seen what these teams are capable of. Um, I remember that quarterfinals. You remember that quarterfinals, AJ. We both were here. We were casting that game. The comeback was phenomenal, and that complete BO5 madness. I won't be surprised if the same thing happens with Wigglyspoo in semi-finale number 2. And if it does, I'll be delighted to watch it, and I'd love to see some other team challenging Revenant XSpark in grand finals as well. Well, which team is it going to be? That we'll get to know soon enough, because AJ, semi-finale 2 is just around the corner. All the players, all the viewers, we both casters, we are all waiting for that semi-finale number 2, because that's going to decide a lot of things. There are two dominant forces so far in the whole of Southeast Asia region in this Brawl Stars Challengers. In season 1, it was these two teams, Wigglyspoo and Revenant XSparks, that have made to the grand finale. There, Wigglyspoo, they decided to give up without even playing the game. But in season number 2, they decided to face Revenant XSpark head on. They did put up a challenge, but in the end, it was Revenant XSpark. They became the champions there as well. But this is the third season, and this is the final season before the regional finals as well, AJ. So yeah, what Cutie Patooties did yesterday, if they can somehow recreate those scenarios, replicate that kind of momentum and gameplay, they can take on Wigglyspoo, and probably they can even take on Revenant XSpark in the finals.
Definitely, and that's how the bracket looks so far. Revenant XSpark made it to the finals, defeating Seafield just now, but it's going to be Cutie Patooties versus Wigglyspoo team. We're going to see them, who is going to be the one dominating on top of each other and making it to the finals and changing that to be decided mark into their own team's name. Who is it going to be? I'm thrilled actually, because we still have Revenant XSpark in the finals, so it's still gonna be a cakewalk. But having said that, I have Necros back in the casting desk. How are you, buddy? And if you saw that game, what is your take on that? Because that was just cakewalk.
I mean, it is something that we expected from the side of Revenant XSpark coming into the game, and exactly, they did how they were supposed to do, and I am not really surprised with the kind of game they demonstrated. And when you just talk about the quick rounds they kind of completed, it was such an immense pleasure to watch them coming up with those plays or quickly rounding up the lobbies. It was something that you kind of anticipate from a team like Revenant XSpark in this situation, in this games like this, and also against a team like Seafield. It's not like something that I'm degrading Seafield or something, but you have to accept it that that team, in a comparison to skills or strats, they are a bit lying low in a comparison to Revenant XSpark. But yep, nevertheless, we move forward and we look forward to kind of see the next games, which is going to be Cutie Patooties versus Wigglyspoo. On Cutie Patooties, you will have Monas, Boba MC, and you have another name out there which I cannot obviously read it. But yeah, on the other end, you have Wigglyspoo's Killer, Primey, and Super Respo.
Indeed, and as per the translator says, I think that translates to I am so handsome and I can't do anything about that. I mean, okay, I like that name, to be honest, and let's see if they can put on a fight that they showed us yesterday as well. They did great. I mean, the games were very close as well at times, but Cutie Patooties managed to come down to the semi-finals once again. But it's going to be Wigglyspoo team, and the opposing team is just not going to be easy to take on, because we have world champion, we have the LAN experience, we have the Dominators in the line as well, and it's not going to be easy to defeat them. And if they do so, they'll still face Revenant XSpark in the finals, and that's going to be even harder. For now, we have Killer 34, Primey, and Supercell. Amazing players, and we know these players very well, right? They have been in the grand finals in previous 2 seasons as well, and they're looking for their 3rd run, and indeed they're looking for a revenge against Revenant XSpark, especially in the grand finals. Will they do it? Can they do it? The question is, because we have new, strategies coming up, we have new meta, and maybe it can favor Wigglyspoo team this time around. You never know.
Oh yeah, we never know how things are gonna unfold, but yeah, that's for sure that we're gonna get entertained in this entire matchup. This is gonna be an interesting match to watch out for and kind of experience it. If you're a Brawl Stars fan, you will enjoy how things will unfold in this place. But when we just talk about this game, Wigglyspoo again, they will be looking forward to reach the grand finals for the 3rd consecutive time, and they will be looking forward to kind of this time defeat Revenant XSpark, their arch rivals and probably the most worthy competitor in the entire circuit. So yeah, that is where the main thing lies. I really want to see this battle between Wigglyspoo and Revenant XSpark go a little bit extra, put some more efforts, put something extra masala in it, and just make it more spicier, as what we can say. But you know what, we'll jump into the draft for the very first game of this 2nd semi-finals, where we see Cutie Patooties versus Wigglyspoo take up against each other. And we see a lot of bans out there. We see a Surge ban, we see a Max ban, although we have seen a Max being played yesterday, so I'm really looking forward if we can get to see him play again. But yeah, he has been banned from both these ends. And yeah, the first pick from the side of Wigglyspoo, AJ, comes as 2.
Great assassin, has so much mobility, and as an assassin is a good ranged brawler as well. Like, you can just zap around, you can just get away with the threat, and most importantly, you're a very safe gem carrier as well. Especially if you get your hypercharge, you can just wander away, you can just get away from threat as well. But we still have 3 picks coming on from opposing team. They might pick a count as well. There are a lot of brawlers that are still open. Max is a threat that was banned out already, and surprisingly Surge didn't made it into the global ban. Maybe one of the team was looking forward to pick somehow if it was not banned. But Mons, on the other hand, has big corner drops, which is great. You have the walls, you can just pound shots, you can tank shots with a sandbag, catch it whenever you get it, and create some pressure on with that as well. Also, having said that, you can give hypercharges so quickly to the team, and if not hypercharges, you can give the damage booster to your teammates, and you can break walls, so it makes it creates more opportunities. Whereas we are going to see Otis, a very safe pick against assassins, and I think it's gonna work very well in a map like this, and also works as a gem carrier, to be honest. It's a great brawler, and it's gonna be very helpful to shut down Primey on that Genji, and Responsi on the other hand is gonna pick up Carl. For those who don't know, Carl got a buff in the recent update, and it's a good buff, right? So yeah, he's somehow getting back into the meta, he's showing up again. But the last pick from Cutie Patooties will define the whole draft, and will also kind of tell us now itself in which direction the game is gonna go be.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be, but yeah, the final pick comes in as the Trunk. This is gonna be interesting. We've seen Trunk after a long time, that's for sure, because last time I saw Trunk was in Season 1, and that was Sergeant playing it. He literally wrecked the lobby last time I saw him play that. So I really want to see how this Trunk gets unfolded and kind of gets out the output that we are looking forward to. But when you've got Otis, Ruffs in the mix, this comp looks pretty interesting for Cutie Patooties. But also Wigglyspoo, they will be relying on Primey's Genji really very much, and that brawler has the capability to kind of damage so much onto their opponent's side that it will be some of a cherished scene to kind of watch out. But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, we will be driving in to the first match of this 2nd semi-finals, which is going to be Wigglyspoo versus Cutie Patooties, and the start is already so quick and precise, and you can see the gem grab being so interesting. Early kills being found by both the sides. Wigglyspoo trying to pressurize as much as possible. Cutie Patooties will be looking forward to gain some controls, though the gem numbers are kind of equalized.
I really love the trunk pick. Honestly, it's good against Prime's Kenji, I guess, at times, and he it's a very capable brawler to find kills. But having said that, he was pinched by 3 people. He was triangled in between, and there was no way for him to just escape that out. But the blue team is now in a spawn trap, and Super responds, getting a nice kill with the right hand side of the map. Trunk with the gadget coming in, takes some healings, but stays alive. He has to stay behind the wall. Really able to take down on Primey, but no, Primey with a slice and dice gets a kill, and he has a hypercharge. Tries to get connections. He gets 2. One more is enough for him to get double elimination. Hypercharge coming in from the Trunk. He moves in the middle of the map, but it's not gonna give enough time for him to stay alive and hypercharge. And they have now accepted their fate. They know that there's no coming back from this. And a nice easy win for Wigglyspoo team.
Oh, that is it for sure. Wigglyspoo, it was a really quick wipe coming in. The first round goes into their side. Nothing taken away. I mean, that is the kind of expected result you were looking forward to. And Wigglyspoo, you can see the faces. They're really determined with what they'd want to do in the match. But nevertheless, Cutie Patooties, you have to give them some credits for just trying and giving their best in order to survive. But yeah, gem grab is a moment where you have to give your utmost best, and it's somehow the other way. It's not working out exactly how it is supposed to be, and the damage of Kenji was superior, but Trunk finally gets Primey down. It's a good pick coming in. Though Wigglyspoo, they have the numbers game advantage. They have the number of gems a little bit more as compared to Cutie Patooties, but Primey! Oh, he barely survives that one, and eventually the last hit will be coming up from his end, and Trunk gets denied. That's a good control by Wigglyspoo.
Definitely, and the Trunk is playing actually pretty smart, not gonna lie. Like, Primey was just one shot away to get that Trunk down, but he intentionally stayed where the Super was supposed to be from that Kenji, so that he can get damage intentionally and get the healings after that, because he applied his gadget and he stayed alive and got the kill. That was smart. But Primey trying to make some control in the right hand side of the map, gets a connection on Moses. Low, the hypercharge is there. Is it gonna be enough? He gets double slash on the Otis, and he steals the gems, coming back with 228 HP, which is low enough but still high enough to keep him alive. Hypercharge coming in from Mo is gonna give it to Otis. This is gonna be enough. No time in the clock. 5 seconds is all what they need, and they find it in the final seconds, and it should be enough for Wigglyspoo team to take up the first set and gem grab.
Oh, that is a really good one indeed. We can just kind of give it up for Wigglyspoo, the way they have determined themselves, and it is a kind of desired result. I mean, I'm really not surprised to see Wigglyspoo dominating games like this, because it is how they are supposed to perform. If they were not performing like this, that would have been a surprising package for us indeed. But when you see a team performing at their utmost best and they're giving 100% to kind of give the best output that they can, trying to reach the grand finals for the 3rd consecutive time, this is how they have to play, because we have seen Revenant XSpark doing some exceptional job in the last semi-finals that we witnessed just a few moments ago, and there they are kind of annihilated their opponents like anything, and that is the exact example of how a well-experienced team should perform and get the things right. So I'm really looking forward to see something very similar from the side of Wigglyspoo. I mean, they have got a 2-0 victory, got the first set for themselves. Then we have the Brawl Ball coming in, where they also have to focus on how things will unfold. Then the heist will be there, and accordingly these 3 matches, these 3 sets has to be completed in the similar fashion of how Revenant XSpark did in their own game, to kind of put things in the right place and have the good momentum walking into the grand finals.
Indeed, and a set wins goes to Wigglyspoo team once again, and they feel like the 2nd Revenant XSpark of the region, to be very honest. They're doing so great, and Primey was the MVP every time in the previous games they played, and once again he's showing up in the MVP screen, having 9 kills on his head and 3 deaths only, with 453 damage posing in, which is a lot in a game mode like Gem Grab, where you just need to just stay passive most of the time to create pressure and only dive in if you're an aggressive brawler. And yes, he did, against the handsome guy. I would say him, the handsome guy. I don't want to read the whole translation, but it was still great from the Trunk. I'll be very honest. That was a smart pick. It was working out at times as well. But I think despite the draft was kind of balanced out from both sides, it was the execution that led Wigglyspoo take over the victory.
Oh yeah, the execution was perfect. The plans were on point, the execution, the fights that they were taking was on point as well. Primey did the entire job that he was supposed to do. Target the trunk, yeah, at times he got the retaliation on his end, but that doesn't matter, right? At some point when you just get the values right, when you know that you're on the winning side, that is what matters the most. But next, it's going to be the pinhole punt in the Brawl Ball. It is going to be an important map as well. While Wigglyspoo, they will be looking forward to secure their second victory, the second set victory for sure. Then we move on to the third one as well. But so far, Cutie Patooties, I mean, they have shown some good game in yesterday's performance, but right now they have a big opponent against themselves, and they have to kind of get it over. But quickly jumping on to the draft phase, AJ, what are your expectations? What picks are you anticipating? Because I am expecting a Max, and yeah, it is there.
I mean, if she's not banned, then it makes sense to, get her picked up real quick as soon as possible. You definitely don't want to give the enemy team the speed boost, the, eligibility, and it's just great to see her there. But we have Killer 34 picking up another new buffy brawler, which is going to be Meg, and she is just devastating. She just deals tons of damage from up close, but she kind of lacks that range. I would say that range would have worked out if she had higher movement speed, but no. But with the gadget, I think she's pretty good. Like, one good mechanism you can do with Meg with the new gadget, buffied gadget, is when you're dying from your mech form and you're about to get in your normal form, you can just instantly use your gadget, and she just throws a mech forward, dealing damage as well as giving enemies some knockback. And which is great because if you do that, you get your super in like 5 seconds once again without even hitting enemies. It just auto charges quick and you get into mech form again. So if you feel like you're dying from your mech form, and if you don't really want to charge up your super manually, just gadget. And she also knockbacks. She gets a super real quick. Great picks coming in. Again, we have Cref, which is a great damage dealer, and I think it's a great answer to the Meg as well. Just maintain distance, keep on dealing damage, and you'll be good to go with. But the handsome guy coming in with Buster, which is an unusual pick, I would say, but I see the vision. They are probably looking for the gadget play, right? You have the ball, you're trying to walk in, you gadget the enemy, pull them back and throw the ball in, which is a great strategy, very OG old strategy. But will they get the opportunities to do so? Because we have Primey on that Stu, and he's amazing. We have seen him playing Stu so many times. He just zaps around so fast and responsive with the tank as his response. But I think I kind of like the Max pick the most in the, in the mix. And from the red team, I believe both Stu and Meg is great.
Yeah, both those brawlers will be really very effective. But as you mentioned, the gadget play coming in from the side of the handsome guy, Buster, coming in. Let's just call him Buster, come on. The Buster guy might just do something better, but the main fact is that Wigglyspoo, they're way too aggressive. They're way too aggressive, and this is a big problem, and you can just see they don't even flinch for a second. Just probably 5 to 7 seconds inside the game, we got the first score from the side of Wigglyspoo, while the Buster will look forward to kind of get some sneaky approaches. The pressure is on to the side of Wigglyspoo because the ball is really very close. But the fact is, the counter kills are coming off on a very quick basis and just pushing the players away of Cutie Patooties. That's the main point.
Definitely we see, Wigglyspoo team again with the pressure, and it's going to be a walk-in again for Killer 34, and that was a smooth win once again in the Brawl Ball set. But when the first goal was there, Necros, it felt like the red team was again putting up a great fight. I mean the blue team, right? They were doing great, they pressurized so well, but Wigglyspoo team, with the experience, they came back somehow with the speed of Max, with the Buster, blocking all the shots. They managed to create pressure, but as soon as their abilities ended, it was enough for them to go off back. But Max has the speed, is trapped in the very cheeky position, but goes down instantly. Super response is going to be there with the rats sending on top of that Buster. Super available for Mons. It's going to be great for defense, but they have to back off. Super response is taking all the damage, but he's tanky enough to take all those. Max decides to TP just on time, which was great and kept the ball away, giving the team some room and time to come back. But Killer 34 is there because his mech form Even if it just dies off, you just have a basic meg as well, and it was enough for him to give them the goal right there. And hypercharge coming in from both the teams, Mons and super response, and Mons wins that interaction for sure, but the pressure is still on from the red team despite only two of them alive. Buster coming in with the gadget play. Is it going to be enough? He again has his hypercharge, but Primey healing up with the gas, so he'll star power and places his gadget on time.
Oh yeah, indeed. This time the ball is close. You can see the damages. Monis not having a lot of room to play along. Response gets Boba out of the equation. Primey still waiting for the right moment to strike in, and he will get the score done. That is it. The Brawl Ball ends here and now as Wigglyspoo, they will be marching towards the third game, which is going to be the map of Heist, and there they will settle the score to enter in the grand finals of Brawl Stars Challenges Southeast Asia season number 3. And so far Wigglyspoo, they have shown some exceptional game, which we kind of expect from them, and it has been such a great run for their side.
I mean, one more set it takes for them to get into grand finals once again with Revenant, XSpark, and maybe try to seek for the opportunity to do a reversal, to give a Uno reverse card on Revenant's face and win that grand finals. This time around, they'll definitely try. The approaches are great, but I think this time around the draft, the opposing team was doing great as well, but they were only able to pressurize when the Max had the super, along with Buster having the super to block all shots. They were able to go up there fast blocking shots, but as soon as those ability ended, it was again Wigglyspoo team showing pure dominance on the line. And I saw the blue team mostly getting spawn trapped most of the time, and it was just it felt like a cakewalk once again for the Wigglyspoo team, and all it takes is one set to move to the grand finals.
Oh, that's for sure, and the way they played it was extremely nice, and this is exactly what we wanted to see. But yet said winner is going to be Wigglyspoo with the 2-0 scoreline. He will advance to the Heist for sure. There's nothing taken away from there, but Primey, Super Respo, as well as Killer, these three players will definitely be looking forward to kind of secure the win this time. Come on, just win it out. I really want to see a new winner in the season 3. I really want to see Wigglyspoo winning against Revenant XSpark, because we have been seeing them win in the last 2 seasons. Why just not there be a little bit of change in taste?
Indeed, and it will kind of prove people wrong that Revenant XSpark, I mean, they were being number 1 each and every time, but if Wigglyspoo manages to take on Revenant XSpark in the grand finals, they'll set a new vision for the people, right? They'll tell the people that now we are no less either. But we're talking about the MVP is going to be Super Respo, a world champion from 2020. 16 kills coming on his head and 7 deaths on his line. Wow, that's a great performance coming in, and the pressure. I mean, they are so good at the game. No, it's despite the draft is kind of balanced most of the time from both teams. They know how to pressurize. The experience comes into the play here. If you see the head-to-head against the Buster guy, it's going to be 7 kills for him and 10 deaths. They was creating great pressure. It was blocking the shots, but for how long? Just for a few seconds. And that was not enough, even with the max super on the line. But Wigglyspoo team takes over in the Brawl Ball set, and now we forward to the third one, which might be and most probably will be the last set. But hey, let's not consider Cutie Patooties any less as well, because they have shown what they got in the previous matchups as well.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. But now it's time that we will be looking forward to the third set of this game, and we will advance to the draft phase for sure, because this is going to be an interesting one. And after such a long time, we are seeing Pierce being back in the comp. That is going to be the first pick from the side of Wigglyspoo. You can see a Brockman as well in the mix, along with Supernova as well as Crow.
I mean, yeah, like, they really make sense. We have seen Supernova, I mean, Starnova.
Starnova, yeah, exactly. I was one.
I get it.
It's probably the second time I'm saying it's Supernova. Come on.
She's a new brawler after all. That's okay. But the three brawlers have already been picked up. It's gonna be Responsi picking up the Pierce taking all the responsibility on his head, and Mons on the other hand with the Pearl. I really like Pearl. I'll be very honest, and personally, I've been playing Pearl recently a lot. She's great and she's underrated. Like the damage from a gadget, if you connect it well, especially when you cook up. With the max limit she has, oh my god, she deals so much damage, and all it's almost like a free elimination there. But on the other hand, we have the healings and the support coming up from the Jean as well, if he uses the healing star power, by the way. But it's a great brawler to poke in enemies and scout grasses very easily. He has that very annoying extra projectiles coming out of that. But we have Primey as a response to them, because I don't know, like if Mons have his super, it's gonna be easy interaction because he can just demolish that flank if he supers on top of him. But Killer with the support as well, he can give his teammates damage boost, as well as he can break walls. And not just that, he can also provide hypercharges quick. 10 seconds on the clock, and we'll see the last pick for Cutie Patooties.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting which is going to be the last pick, because so far the two brawlers that they have decided has been really up and down. But now you see an Angelo being there, and now somehow the other way, you know what, I really wanted to see an Angelo today. And yeah, somehow the other way, Cutie Patooties, they have predicted my wish and they have chosen Angelo. Let's see how it goes inside this comp, because I feel like this can be a bit of an effective one against like Wigglyspoo.
Angelo takes, he has to wait. He has to charge up his main attack to deal more damage. He has to hold it for a few seconds. And if he misses, he just basically wastes some of his seconds, and he has to charge up once again if you want to deal more damage. Same with Pierce. You can't miss shots with him as well, or else you'll reset your ammo limit, and you'll take few seconds to reset back. So both brawlers from both teams coming up, and from which you cannot afford to miss shots. I really like the Cornel Ruff's pick. I'm not sure why Angelo was picked as the last pick, despite knowing the fact that there was a Cornel Ruffs who can put a sandbag blocking all the shots, and he blocked the gadget from Mons, avoiding the burn down that they could have faced. But that Pierce connecting his shots as well. Killer is really looking for his super. He has to do something just on time. But nice gadget, nice star power choice as well. It's a game mode you don't want to die, or you want to get low over time. But appears with a gadget connection, is it going to be enough? And I don't think so. The burn down will not be enough. Primey might go down there. Mons with a great kill, and Killer with miss super. He puts the gadget. Angelo stays static to avoid the popcorn damage while moving around, but it's only super respawn. They're doing something this time. Cutie Patooties resisting the win so far.
Oh, they are indeed. That's going to be the first win, what they wanted for themselves. But overall, when we just look up, this is the opportunity. Wigglyspoo.
Wow.
Definitely they are going to look forward to kind of get something. The response has been taken down. Mones on a counter has been retaliated eventually. It's a 2v2 is what we are seeing. Killer and Primey still in that intact course. But they're waiting for the right moment to strike in. It's going to be a hefty amount of damage that they have to deal with. But Wigglyspoo, they cannot afford to lose this one because they have come so far. But Cutie Patooties, they're pulling up some competition. But Boba gets shut down instantly. And now there's only going to be that Angelo left against the odds.
Honestly, it was looking bad for Wigglyspoo team this time around. But the Killer's shoe, the shoe damage is so less, and he connected both the shoe damage on Mons. He was a tanky brawler, but he was so low, and he was trying to get away behind that wall, but those connection made the difference right there. Killer with the play, but he goes down. The popcorn is there as well, dealing all the damage, but the healings just on time coming up from the Jean is gonna keep his teammates alive. An interesting gadget, an interesting star power choice from Primey as well. It's gonna give more hit points, more overall hit points to the teammates, but that he didn't get the wall break star power this time around. The hypercharge damage booster is there in the middle of the map, but hypercharge is already there for super respawn, and I don't think so. It's great. It's in a great position to pick up, but Mons with the hypercharge, is it gonna be enough? The connection was there from the handsome guy. The Angelo gets killed, and Primey is the only one standing alone for his team, and they go down. Cutie Patooties are still here, keeping the dream alive, getting a win over Wigglyspoo team and the third set.
Oh, this is where you probably look forward to kind of put some extra efforts in keeping your hopes alive. And yep, that is how things are getting unfolded one after another. But yep, Cutie Patooties, they take a 1-0 lead in the third set, but now Wigglyspoo, they won't be really happy with the results that what they have faced so far. Response is still there. They're playing way too much intact in a single position, which might just harm their health so much. But you also have to see the perspective. Cutie Patooties, they are being very resilient in their performance. Just looking forward to those situations where they just want to exploit the mistakes what will be committed by Wigglyspoo, as Primy's HP depletes way too much. Ruffs is just waiting, holding on to the side. Nobody's willing to go a little bit overriding the experience, maybe do something extraordinary, push past their limits. Not something that what we're seeing from both these ends, but so slowly and gradually you can see Wigglyspoo advancing towards the other side.
Super coming in from the Fang, instantly goes down, and a nice jump from the Angelo, keeping himself alive from the danger. Super available for the Genie, pulls it, he connects it well, and his super response, not looking for him. He takes a trade, but goes down, and it is it's the last round. They just need one more win against Wigglyspoo team to stay alive and win this set. Can they do it? I mean, Gene is a brawler. If you want to stack with the team to get healings, it's gonna be very, very hard for you to survive as well, because a team wipe potential brawler is there in the opposing team, which is Fang. If you stack up, it's gonna be easy for him to connect his supers, chain it, and nice connection from the gadget as well from Mons, but keeping himself alive as he has Sting is dodging all the shots. I mean, I don't even understand what's happening, because it's just so much chaos in the middle of the map. We can see sandbags being dropped, we can see the fire projectiles coming in from the PS time to time, healings from both end, but hypercharge available for both teams, and a connection on Mons is making it a 3v2 situation, despite Primey is low but is gonna heal over time. And another connection. I thought, okay, I think they're just going for the smoke. They don't really want to feed. They have to take this win somehow if they want to stay.
Oh yeah, they sure. Cutie Patooties one just knockout away, one round away to seize the victory in this set 3 itself. Well, Wigglyspoo, if they want to stay alive in the competition, they have to win this one, and also they have to win the next game as well if they push it to that. They're playing it slow and gradually. Wigglyspoo doesn't want to make any mistakes, but the pressure is surreal. Killer makes a mistake, goes down. Primey has a big responsibility on his shoulder. Response from the backyards will be there, trying to push Cutie Patooties in the corner. But the big question is, the HP is depleting, and Wigglyspoo, they're backing off from the advanced aggressive stance that they had, because their numbers advantage is not giving them the favor, but they get a counter, and that is a big one. Angelo being picked off. It's a big opportunity. It brings it down to 2v2. Overall, I guess this is going to be it for this one. 2 wins for the side of Wigglyspoo, as they still live to fight another day. They will be there in the competition. They will be looking forward to play another round. And once again, they will be looking forward to get the win in the next one and maybe back up the set 3 to kind of advance. But yep, this is going to be the decider round, AJ. If they win this one, Wigglyspoo will walk away as the winner of the semifinals too.
Indeed, and that's not how Cutie Potatoes would like to end things off, and a trap coming in, and Gene goes down in the beginning itself, which is a huge upset. So far so good coming off from Wigglyspoo this time around. Like, they were looking in a bad position in the previous game, but this time they're not stacking, despite Prami is having a star power, which gives them extra hit points, you know. But Mons, they're getting spawn trapped, and that's why you need that wall break, but there was none in the beginning. Mons trying to get his super right before dying, because there's no smoke so far. to just die off alone, not feeding the enemies. There were no choice, and game point, match point coming in from Wigglyspoo team. They just need one more round, not even one more game. They just need one more round to go to the grand finals. But can Cutie Patooties make it? It's just not looking good so far, because the stack is there once again, and no super yet for the PS. He needs it to avoid spawn trap, but Popcorn Gadget is also going to keep them behind. Angelo trying to hit some shots, but there is so many sandbags, and whenever some of the sandbags depletes, there are more after that. So it's just so annoying for the Angelo to hit shots. More set of sandbags coming in, and a super from the PS. Is it going to be enough? A super, a 2v2 situation, but not looking good for the blue team, and they go down and they accept their fate. Wigglyspoo team is going to the finals.
A kind of expected result, but Wigglyspoo, they had to take it to the decider round of set 3. This was a tough battle indeed, because Cutie Patooties, they did show some resilience in this set of knockout. Otherwise, things would have gone an easy way. It was going in an easier way for Wigglyspoo, but they made it a little bit difficult. They put some more obstacles in the way, and we can kind of witness that. Cutie Patooties, they have got some potential inside them, and they have got the plans, but some other way you have to admit that Wigglyspoo, they are a bit tough as a competitor, and if you want to compete against them, you have to level up your game a bit more in terms of how aggressive you can play, how better brawlers you can pick against them. So I believe that might just help them a bit, but nevertheless, it is going to be again a finale where you will be seeing Revenant XSpark versus Wigglyspoo, and battle between two Goliaths again for the third consecutive time.
Indeed, and it looked good for Cutie Patooties, to be very honest. They could have made it through this set. Actually, there were some slight mistakes. There were some silly mistakes that they made in between, and super for the PS was so important to just break that wall and get that, to avoid the spawn trap. That's exactly what happened. He didn't get his super on time, and the Wigglyspoo team was able to spawn trap them. Just like here, we can see there was no super for the Pierce. He was desperate to get it, hitting primies, dodging all the shots, but no. And the sandbags was just so annoying for the Angelo to deal with, because Angelo is a brawler. He pulls so long to get his main attack charged up at max, and then if you miss it, or maybe you can just say if you connect it on a sandbag, what can be more painful than that?
Oh, that's for sure, but it's going to be a 2-1 victory for Wigglyspoo. They have done some exceptional job out there, and they will be looking forward to do it again in the grand finals against Revenant XSpark, something like that, if they can push it to that extent. Because Revenant XSpark, the kind of play they are coming up with, the kind of aggression they have, it is going to be a tough job for Wigglyspoo. They have been defeated once in the season number 2. They don't want to be defeated once again, but Response has 24 kills with 11 deaths in the semi-finals itself. They have done some good job out there with an average DPS of 340.10. So we can anticipate that this grand finals will be a tad bit more exciting, though there is one change out there in the side of Wigglyspoo. Killer being in that roster is something that is making a bit of difference, and in a comparison to Mr. Handsome, it's 11 to 24, a big difference between both of them, but you have to give the higher ups to him as well because of putting so much efforts.
Indeed, the competition was great and it was very tight. They looked very stiff in this one. It looked like they were comfortable around, and they were able to take down in one of the games, but those slight mistakes, you can't afford to make them in this particular matchup, and I won't even call them mistakes. It was just a change in approach. Next, did you just notice the fact that in the first few games, when Wigglyspoo team saw that they were stacking up and they were dying a lot, in that case they changed their approach. When they were spawn trapping, they just spread so apart, not worrying about the fact that corner roughs can give extra 8 points while they're being with him stacked up. no, they changed their approach, and that's how they got the win in the second game. And I really love how they think, and it actually helped out too. Because if they're not stacked up, it's gonna be hard for the Gene to poke damage. It's gonna be hard for the Pearl to get some connections as well, especially with the gadget. Because they are sandbags for the corner routes, but if they're not stacked up, they just spread apart, and it's hard for the Angelo to get connection, especially with the sandbags. So overall, I like the fact that they got separated, irrespective of the fact that it was better to stay together, but it actually helped out. And at the end of the day, that's what really matters, because it's not a game mode where you get another life, where you get to respawn. It's just one time, and if you die, you just spectate your team, and with the hopes that they'll do something.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. And right now, one thing awaits us. It's gonna be the season finale, season 3 finale. It's where we are heading towards. It's again for the third consecutive time. Revenant XSpark versus Wigglyspoo. The two top teams of the Southeast Asia against each other for another time, and this time the debate is still in the favor of Revenant XSpark, as they won 2 back-to-back seasons, and Wigglyspoo, they were unable to kind of withstand them in the second season. The first season they had to forfeit, the second one they were defeated with a 3-0 scoreline. The third time, will it be Wigglyspoo winning it out against Revenant XSpark, or is it going to be the same manner of what we witnessed in Season 2? All these questions will be answered in the Grand Finals that we will be kicking off in a few minutes, but I want to know your opinion, AJ. What do you think the scoreline can be of this Grand Finals?
I mean, honestly, Wigglyspoo is a tough team, and I expect them to take on Revenant XSpark at times, but honestly, I think it might be a 3-0 once again, Nikros. But nevertheless, we'll find out that very soon in the Grand Finals. That's gonna happen, against Revenant XSpark and Wigglyspoo team. For now, we're going for a short break, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
After a very short break, we are back with the Brawl Stars Challenges Southeast Asia. This is going to be the finale, the grand final of Season 3 itself. And joining alongside me, it's going to be Start Clashing and myself. You know, this is Necros, you can just see the name. But yeah, nevertheless, this is going to be the grand finals. We are awaiting for the third consecutive time. This is going to be Revenant XSpark versus Wigglyspoo up against each other. This is a kind of competition that we really want to see. But so far, this is going to be the map. We start with the gem grab, then we have the Brawl Ball, then we have the bounty. So this is how things will unfold. First on the Crystal Arcade, then the Triple Ribble and a Layer Cake. The first 3 sets, then Ring of Fire, which is going to be the hot zone, and then at the last we're going to have the heist in the safe zone. So let's see if it goes down to the 5th map. But Clashing, I really want to know your opinion whether we are going to the decider or we can expect a 3-0.
I'm expecting a decider. I don't know, man, but I have a feeling that Wigglyspoo, they have also practiced hard. Ever since that Season 1, they had to forfeit. In Season 2, it was a tough battle. They even end up winning a set, right? So this is the third and final chance. If they end up losing this one, then it's only regional final. These monthly, this is the third monthly season, so you'll have to be very careful. We started off with 8 teams in total. Revenant XSpark, they were to be faced against Raging Bots team, but Raging Bots decided to give them a bye. So Revenant, they reached semi-finale, won 3-0 against Seafield, and now they are in the finals. As for the Wigglyspoo, they ended up losing a set against FA Froggy. So that was kind of a bye win that FA Froggy got. Apart from that, that game against Cutie Patooties, I think the knockout one, it was so good. Necros, you and AJ were casting. I was sitting back here watching all the action unfold, and for a second I really thought that Cutie Patooties, they are on track to repeat what they did yesterday with LGT Stings. But sadly they couldn't, and Wigglyspoo on the other hand became the third consecutive finalist in Brawl Stars Challenger Southeast Asia.
Oh, that's for sure. But right away we can go and see the matchup between two of these Goliaths. The top 2 teams of the Southeast Asia region up against each other for the third consecutive time that I've been telling for the entire day. And yes, this is probably the chance for Wigglyspoo to settle the debate, to settle the scores with Revenant XSpark if they wish to win this one. The rosters of Wigglyspoo, Primey Killer and Super Response, I mean, they are looking pretty nice. Killer being added in the roster has made some changes. They have been a bit more aggressive, but when you talk about aggression, Revenant XSpark, they are no way stopping themselves to that, because Jay in the support, Super Walk and Sergeant going all out is what a proper exact strong roster looks like. And Revenant XSpark, they are literally looking forward to kind of do something very similar of what they have done so far in the entire Season 3. But Wigglyspoo, from Season 2 to Season 1, one change in the roster, can it make the difference in the grands? That's the big question.
Well, there are so many questions, right? Because there's going to be 5 sets in total. Depends on both the teams. If Wigglyspoo, if they're not giving it a 3-0 victory, they did give them a 3-1 in the previous season. But remember, this is Wigglyspoo and they are learning a lot. We can clearly see that in their gameplay as well, in their results as well. But let's take a look at the draft. There's so many good bans I can see. Kit is out of the picture. They do not want Colonel Ruffs as well against them. Damien, Star Nova, global ban. A Griff getting a global ban. Interesting. Wigglyspoo, they certainly don't want to give Revenant XSpark those comfort brawlers. Max is out of the picture for the whole series as well. But once again, 8-bit, Crow, I love those brawlers. Why would you ban them? Wigglyspoo, I'm not that happy with you now. But then again, Sergeant, he's gonna get that stew nonetheless. And we all know how Revenant XSpark, how good they are on that stew. We have seen them win so many games. They get the mobility, they get the damage, they get everything you need to win a gem with them.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. They will be looking forward to do their best. We see a Meg and the Stu coming in as so far. But the next brawlers that I kind of anticipate is there can be a Kenji pick if there is a chance. I mean, we have seen Sergeant being and on that Kenji doing some hefty amount of damage, but there are some new brawlers that might just help out. We've seen them, an Otis pick we have seen in the gem grab as well, which has worked out pretty well for a lot of teams. We've seen Star Nova, but again, it is banned, so we are not supposed to see that pick or that brawler coming in. But it's a Lumi from the side of Primey. that is coming up. It's not the first time we're seeing Lumi in action on Primey in the gem grab round. So hopefully that should do the damage. It should do the effective thing that it's supposed to. It's a big damage dealer, and again, Lumi coming into the draft will be something that I believe Revenant XSpark they have to watch out for. But still, you know, there are 2 more picks left.
Well, let's see what are they gonna pick now. There are plenty of options now. Ems is also in the picture, but they're gonna go ahead with a Finks. Okay, I was not expecting a Finks. I definitely was not, because yeah, that's a great brawler. I love Finks, especially in Brawl Ball. Even I myself play Finks when it comes to ranked games. But yeah, let's see how is it gonna unfold, because that's a great brawler. How you're gonna pair it with? You already have a Stu. So basically, what I believe that Stu could be the jam holder there. He could be the one picking up all the gems. And X9J, he's gonna go ahead and pick that Spike. Revenant XSpark, they are using that Spike a lot after the patch. Spike, I loved Spike before the patch. I like Spike after the patch. That's a great brawler. The damage is good. The attacks are pretty decent, and it is very difficult to dodge those attacks too, right? And his super, if you time it correctly, I think in a team battle, if there's a 3v3 going on, then that super can certainly help the team by a huge margin. But a Kenji to end things from Wigglyspoo's end. Kenji is a great brawler, to be very honest, but at the same time, you'll have to make that physical contact with the other brawler. But with Stu, you get the mobility to dodge him. With Spike, you get the range, and same goes for Finks as well. So I'd love to see how Response is gonna go ahead and clear the distance between these brawlers and gonna secure those frags.
Yeah, and once again, it looks really exciting to see this entire draft. Although I really want to see Sergeant playing on that Kenji, but it's Response bringing in that. So, but at the end, it's a win-win for me. I really wanted to see a Kenji. I really wanted to see a Spike today, and I am happy. I'm a happy man. Come on, the first game itself in the grand finals, we are seeing both of my favorite, I wouldn't say the favorite one, but still the kind of anticipated brawlers I really wanted to see. So I'm really looking forward to see how things will unfold. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is going to be the Season 3 finale, the first very game. Revenant XSpark versus Wigglyspoo. The grand finale takes up a big start as Wigglyspoo, they have the numbers advantage with the gems, but Primey gets eventually taken down by Superwalk, and that the gems have been lost instantly as Superwalk seems a little bit more aggressive as Primey has the super activated. He can use it as quickly as possible, and Kenji can be a really problematic brawler if you really don't want to mess things up though.
Sergeant with that Spike, very confident right now. He ended up giving Superwalk the Stu as well. But X9J, the Finks is the gem holder here, and he already has those 6 gems, which is huge. Super comes in. Okay, they're constantly trying to connect those shots, trying to control the mine too. They get 7 gems, and there's a single brawler here. Kenji with the super. Not gonna work how he thought it would, and Sergeant with only 290 HPs gets a kill on Primey. And with Kenji gone, now Wigglyspoo, you'll have to be a bit careful until he's back. Meanwhile, Killer 34 utilizes the hypercharge, and he does get 7 gems in the process as well.
This is insanity, and Wigglyspoo now they will be ticking up the timer. This is a great move by Killer. He finally gets what he wants. Superwalk completely cornered out, and it seems like Revenant XSpark, the kind of reign they were having so far, is going to get denied. Jay trying to do a hefty amount of damage. Response only has 1 gem left. Wigglyspoo, they're going in the backlines, not willing to give up. They get some couple of gems out there, but the timer is gonna take out. Wigglyspoo wins the first round of this gem grab situation. This is a kind of impact killer. What a mighty play from him. Exactly what he was supposed to do. He did it fantabulously. But we have to look forward of how things are going to go, because this is going to be the round 2 of gem grab as Wigglyspoo, they are in the lead.
Man, indeed they are. Those gears are working perfectly for them. All those stunts are really crucial when it comes to Sergeant. He does not have the huge amount of HP that you require to sustain for too long. At the same time, if you end up stunning him, then that Spike is most certainly gone. he's out of the picture. And then again, that Kenji will have to be careful of him. Because in the previous round, they had those 8 gems, but Kenji came in with the super, got the gem holder out of the picture. But right now, X9J gets 3 Wigglyspoo. They have 3 gems as well. Killer is the one. Primey. Is he overextended? No, he does have his super though. Is he going to utilize his super? No, he won't, and he'll go down as well. Super walk, he does have his super. Meanwhile, Sergeant trying to push a little bit to create that space which X9J required to collect all the gems from the mine. They're already in a lead, and what they are looking for right now is not the control maybe. They're looking for the right opportunity to kill the opponent gem holder.
This is literally crazy. 5-6 is a nail-biting competition between both the teams. Revenant XSpark, they take a 2-gem lead for sure, but Response seems like a little bit of trouble, but finds Super Walk down. That's a big kill that come in his way, but Killer's dominating damage is just too much to bear out with. Primey gets tainted with a lot of damage on his side, but Super Walk waiting for the right move to strike in. Primey gets taken down 8-6. Wigglyspoo in the lead, 2 gems away to start the countdown. Spike's effect does slow down Response, deals a good amount of damage, but the numbers will be equalized by Revenant XSpark in a blink of an eye, as the X9J Sergeant still on the roll. 9 gems being collected, 1 more gem away to start the countdown. As Revenant XSpark, they are playing it slow, they are playing it steady. Primey waiting, and now the gem countdown begins. 15 seconds is what Wigglyspoo has to kind of come up, make a plan, get the kills, and do something extraordinary, because Primey's play is going to be really very important in this entire matchup.
Nah, Wigglyspoo. Well, waiting there for Revenant XSpark to aggress, that was not the best choice you had. The countdown was there, and they were not even trying to aggress. They were waiting for Revenant XSpark to maybe make a mistake, but it is RNTX for you, man. And they're not going to do some foolish mistake that they already have like 11-12 gems, and they're still gonna just go ahead and try to get those kills. No, they're not gonna do that. It's a 1-1 now, and Wigglyspoo, they still do have the chance to get this set number 1. Primey going all in, utilizing that huge HP he gets with that Kenji. But now he's gonna back off. Oh, can he survive? Man, he might end up surviving that fight as well. Yes, he will, and gets a kill in the process as well. There you go, Revenant XSpark. Even after all of this, they still have the control of that gem mine.
You can see the gems being collected. Revenant XSpark, this is a different kind of playstyle. It was not there in the first round itself, and you can kind of know that it is a different kind of approach from their playstyle itself. 6-1 is the scoreline. Che and Sergeant in the backline. Super Walk trying to give the damage, and now you see Primey aggressing through those tall grasses. His HP is depleted so much. One good hit, it could have been another fatal blow to the side of Primey. He's still surviving. Super wants to go up close and personal, still gives a amount of damage. Primey barely survives on 1353 HP, but Sergeant seems to be tanking so much that he finally gets taken down. It's 5-3. It's a good competition, but Primey invades the backlines, get punished out in there. He still manages to survive and live to fight another day, but Wigglyspoo, they're not getting the chance to uphold their positioning in this gem grab third round, what they did in the very first itself. But now Primey dealing so much damage, going up against Super Walk on a head-on competition is definitely not a great move, but targeting Jay is probably the best thing that you can opt for, and Primey, he gets Super Walk down in the final moments.
I know, man. X9J again and again surviving. Stu goes all in with that hypercharge. He's on fire, utilizing those gears, hypercharges, everything he had in that arsenal. Killer this time is trying to retaliate back. Kenji comes in, hypercharge, then the super, but still couldn't manage to get Jay out of the picture. And Jay is the main gem carry, so unless he's in the game, there's no way you can survive. Super Walk gets 8 gems as well, and this is over. There's no way. Only 10 seconds remaining. They'll just keep backing off. And right now, even if you take down Sergeant or Super Walk, the countdown is not going to stop.
This is insanity, and Revenant XSpark, they will back up the gem grab for themselves, although the competition was nice. But you can see the smile on Superwalk's face that, yeah, this was interesting, man. This was pretty fine. The kind of grand finale we really wanted to witness. We have seen it, so what else do we need? But nevertheless, it was a great match that we witnessed just now. It is exactly the kind of grand finals we really want to witness in the Season 3. Well, it is going to be the first victory. Gem Grab is under the way, but next is going to be the Brawl Ball, while we remember that what happened in Brawl Ball in both the semi-finals. Revenant XSpark, probably in 20 to 30 seconds, they ended the Brawl Ball competition, while it took some time for Wigglyspoo, but they also managed to have a clean sheet there as well.
And Necros, that's not the first time they did it, right? They are so good when it comes to Brawl Ball. We have seen them do the exact same thing in Season 1 as well. I think the very first time we have seen a Kendi in this Brawl Stars Challenger Southeast Asia, it was from a Revenant XSpark, and in the mode of Brawl Ball itself. So that was a fast game, ended in 20-25 seconds. Same happened in today's semi-finale as well. Let's see if they'll be able to do the same in the finals as well, because by the looks of it, I think Wigglyspoo, they're putting up a great challenge for Revenant XSpark. Just take this Gem Grab for an example. It's a 2-1 victory, not a 2-0. And they were struggling in that game number 1 as well. Though during that game number 3, I felt that Revenant XSpark, they are a lot more confident, they are a lot more in control. So that is something Wigglyspoo will have to be a bit careful about, because you cannot lose that confidence while playing against a team like Revenant XSpark. Their coordination is amazing, the leadership is great, they play on those calls, and most importantly, every player knows his brawlers. Every single one of those, whether it's Superwalk or Sergeant, just look at those stats, kills, 12 kills, only 8 deaths. And an average DPS of 349. To take an example from Wigglyspoo's team, it was Super Respo, and with only 10 kills, 7 deaths, and his average DPS, it is far lower than what Superwalk managed to give out here.
Yeah, for sure, but I really want to see that Revenant XSpark, what they are planning in the next game, because next one is going to be the Brawl Ball, and there is going to be a lot of questions, because the competition will be tough. I am anticipating that it will also go for a decider. It's not going to be a 2-0 that easy in the Brawl Ball competition. This will be happening in the triple map, of course, and Wigglyspoo, now they are 1-0 down in the series. So if they don't want to lose it, they have to grab the Brawl Ball to keep up the competition. Otherwise, it will be tough for them to make a comeback when it comes down to the bounty mode. And I'm really looking forward to see how they are planning things out. Because this time, if you talk about the comp that they have, the drop that they have, I felt like that some other way that Wigglyspoo's draft was much better in a comparison to Revenant XSpark, but still they managed to win, so that doesn't matter anymore. We jump into the Brawl Ball and let's see what awaits us.
Well, let's see what are going to be the picks, and they're gonna start off with a Meg this time. Well, previously they were not that keen on picking up that Meg, but this time, if you take a look at the bans, we can clearly see that Wigglyspoo, they were so annoyed with that Stu, they ended up banning that Stu out of the picture. They banned out a Surge as well. I love Surge, man. Come on, give me a Surge game. You know, I'm pushing my trophies, and Surge, he's coming so handy right now. I'm on 18 win streak with that Surge. So that is that. But right now, Responsi is gonna come in with my second current best favorite brawler, that is Ems. You get a lot of AoE with that Ems. The damage output is insane. The gadgets are pretty good as well. You can just push back with one of the gadgets. You can just push back an assassin or some physical damage dealer who's trying to take you down. So push back with the gadget and just use your basic attack. The other brawler will be gone. Boom, no time wasted. But yeah, a meeple to pair it with. But let's see what Revenant XSpark is gonna pick next.
This is going to be important. The meeple coming in from the side of Wigglyspoo, and then you've got the M's out there, and so far it's looking pretty nice. I mean, the comp from the side of Wigglyspoo, it is looking a little bit promising, but when you talk about the other end, you've got a Meg, and then you are looking forward to pick the second one. I don't wonder what's, and finally it's Sergeant getting the Kenji. I am so happy.
Yeah,
I am so happy.
This. I think all of us, whoever's seen Revenant XSpark play any of the Brawl Ball mode, I think we all were expecting a Kenji from their end, because Sergeant on that Kenji is just so good, undeniably. He knows how to utilize that super, and he knows how to clear his way. Oh, he's got a Lu as well, and I love that. I love that brawler after the patch. The damage amount is insane. His super that can be lethal, and the best part about Lu is the freeze that you get, right? That stun, that freeze, that CC. It can definitely create a lot of problem, especially in a more right Brawl Ball, because we all know, Necros, that in Brawl Ball, even a single second wasted can result in opposition's goal. So I will have to be a lot more careful. They've got a Lumi to control that kind of a scenario, a great control brawler. But let's see how Promi is gonna play on it, how Ams is gonna create that space that the team requires. Though it is pretty hard to get full advantage of an Ams attacks moveset when it comes to Brawl Ball, but at the same time, you'll have to be a bit careful, especially with that super. Because if you end up wasting a super, then Ams is gonna be really tricky to play with.
Oh, indeed, it is going to be. Because once again, it's going to be a tough job to kind of secure of how things unfold. But Primey, oh my god! It is too quick to kind of even digest for Revenant XSpark. I never expected to score this quick. Use the gadget very precisely, Jay. But now, the question is, how are you going to respond? Primey gets pushed back, gets completely taken down by Jay, but Killer gets the second score! Oh my god, what in the world just happened? Wigglyspoo! It's so quick! It's Revenant XSpark against them. That doesn't matter. Round 1 secured in a quick manner. My god, this is insane.
Giving them a taste of their own medicine here, Necros. Because that is something we have only seen Revenant XSpark doing with the other team. But this time it is Wigglyspoo. They were like, oh, wait a second, you have been doing this with a lot of our peers, so let us teach you a lesson. But this time Primey is gonna go down, really? Oh, that's Superman! Oh, Primey super. He was on fire, and I really thought he might go down, but he did go down, but only after securing a good kill with his super. On the other end, Super Walk, he's all alone now trying to farm his super. Meanwhile, X9J comes in here with that mag. Respo. They are trying to create an opening out there because the ball is already on the other hand. Sergeant will go in. He does have his super. Is he gonna shoot? Super Walk goes all in. He does have the HP. No, he misses the shot, and Respo comes in back once again. X9J being trapped, and Wigglyspoo, they're not gonna let you score this easily.
This is just going to be the beginning. Revenant XSpark, they will look forward to do something better, but the time is ticking. No scores being done so far. Killer gets taken down by Sergeant. The Lua is working pretty fine. Super Walk, close up, close and personal. Tries to get the response down, but no, it's not going to work. Sergeant gets down. Super Walk gets punished. Now this is going to be pressure on Jay. And Primey, you can see him getting closer and closer, although the ball is not anywhere closer to Primey. But the question is that Wigglyspoo still looking forward to kind of put a lot of pressure on the players of Revenant XSpark, and there has been no retaliations as such of what we are expecting. Super Walk still there, looking forward to get one on Killer, and although we can see Primey in a very low HP, Super Walk still completely trapped out. Response helps him out and makes it possible for Primey to survive a tad bit longer.
Sergeant, that was a great pass, but at the same time, while you're in Am's super, where Kenzie was, so it is pretty hard to move around freely. And that's what just happened. But okay, Kenzie comes back. That was a hypercharge super. He's waiting for someone to pass the ball. Someone pass the ball to Kenzie. No, they cannot. And in the meantime, Wigglyspoo, they are back in the game. X9J. Oh, he did utilize that hypercharge, but right now Wigglyspoo, they are completely defensive. We're about to enter OT. All the obstacles will be gone. Overtime it is. Will try to trap Sergeant. No, he was not successful enough though. Sergeant, you'll have to connect as many shots as possible. Hypercharge, super. Sergeant gets a frag on Respo, but careful of that Ams. Killer 34 gone. Sergeant going all in. Is it going to be a goal? Yes, it will be. A team wipe first, then a goal, and that is what Revenant XSpark was looking for. They knew that it is pretty hard to score a goal, though they were constantly trying, but there are so many obstacles, Necros. They had no brawler, no gadget that can somehow maybe help them destroy some of those obstacles. But at the same time, that counter M's, her super is so powerful that she's slowing down anybody with that super who's even trying to come close to their goal post.
It was tough. It is really very tough. Wigglyspoo, they're putting up some really good competition out there. And this is something that you kind of wanted to see in the grand finals. This is a kind of exact demonstration of what they are capable of. But Killer finds Superwalk, a beautiful demonstration of the play he's capable of. Sergeant wants to go somewhat closer, but it didn't work out somehow the other way. He got taken down immediately. The quick response coming in from the side of Wigglyspoo was really good. The gadget being used out there. Response also gets so many hits, and Kenji goes all the way up close, and personal response HP is just barely surviving. Kenji gets the ball under control, can just go up and give it a pass. X9J with the ball will be going in, gets the score done. Revenant XSpark, they take the lead in the decider one with a 1-0. Wigglyspoo under immense pressure.
I just loved how he passed the ball to the higher HP brawler there. X9J clearing the way. Superwalk gets the ball! And that was a very fast goal. Those passes were insane. And they've utilized 2 hypercharges within a span of seconds there. Kenji was on fire, hypercharged, utilized his super, and he was just running around wild, clearing every single brawler that came in his and that goal zone's way. That was a great game, to be very honest, because Revenant XSpark, they started off this game with a loss, but coming back from that kind of a scenario, and even in that round 2, I really felt that it was very close for Wigglyspoo, and for a moment I really thought this could have been a 2-0 set favoring Wigglyspoo. But maybe there was a little bit of mistakes made in that round number 2, otherwise this could have been their round. As for the highlights, as you can clearly see how easily they have secured that round number 1, but round 2 and round 3, they were a completely different story.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the way it turned out to be, the kind of approach that we saw Revenant XSpark changing it up for Wigglyspoo once they understood that, you know, this is not how things will fall under our favor. So we have to kind of make some tweaks and changes, and that really worked out for them. And that I'm really happy for that. But we have to give the credit to Wigglyspoo, the way they're putting so much pressure. And that is why these two teams are the best in the Southeast Asia circuit. And you can just get an idea about, just by seeing their plays. It's tough, but nevertheless, Revenant XSpark, they still managed to win it 2-1, and that is what matters the most for them. Winning it out and securing the second point in the series. 2-0 up, they are in this BO5. Just one more round away, one more set away to secure the 3rd consecutive season win of the Brawl Stars Challengers. Southeast Asia, Superwalk having 22 kills, clashing with having around like 17 deaths, and probably most of them happened in this game.
Great stats. Very impressive stats out there. Wigglyspoo, they have some great stats as well. It is super respo. 16 kills, only 13 deaths, and an average DPS of 281. Those are not bad stats, but when you compare it to someone like Superwalk or someone like Sergeant, there's a huge difference. There is a huge difference. But then again, we always say how Revenant XSpark is a great team, and in Southeast Asia, I cannot see any team that can challenge them apart from Wigglyspoo, and they are putting on a great challenge, right? Because we have mostly seen Revenant XSpark getting those 2-0 victories, but this time it was a 2-1 in Jam Grab. It is a 2-1 in this Brawl Ball as well. Wigglyspoo, if they can somehow secure a victory in the mode of bounty here, maybe there could be a chance of a turnaround, and I would love to see a turnaround. We have seen one yesterday. It was Cutie Patooties, and they were on fire. LGT Stings, they were so close to be a part of in the semi-finale, or probably in the of the finals as well. But at the end, Cutie Patooties, after losing 2 consecutive rounds, 2 consecutive sets, they were on fire, and they ended up winning 3 consecutive sets to secure a 3-2 victory. I would love to see something like that happening in the finals, though the probability is very low, Necros, because you're facing Revenant XSpark, and in some alternate universe, even if Sergeant or even if Revenant XSpark, even if they ended up making a mistake, that's a team that will not repeat it. They'll instantly buckle up and they'll correct those mistakes. They have made some mistakes, right? That's the reason they have lost some rounds as well. but they cannot lose that whole set. They know how to buckle up, how to collect your thoughts, and how to execute the perfect finisher. And that's what they've been doing for the past 2 seasons. And this is the third one. Let's see if they'll be able to replicate the scoreline once again. Is it going to be a 3-0 victory for Revenant XSpark in this Brawl Stars Challenger Southeast Asia? This game will decide. Let's take a look at the bans. Mortis is out of the picture. You do not want that Mortis against you when it comes to the mode of bounty. But Superwalk gets the OG Assassin Crow on his side. On the other hand, Brock is gone. Yep, Brock, he did got some massive buffs, buffies as well. 8-bit is out of the picture. Meeple is out of the picture as well. Kit is gone. Shade is gone. And you have already global banned Grave, one of my favorite brawler. So a bit disappointed there. Let's see what are going to be their picks.
It's okay, Clashing. Not everybody gets their favorite brawlers to see in a competition.
Yeah,
I know. I know. See, there's some superpowers inside me. Whenever I want to see a brawler, I get to see it, and I'm so proud of myself. Just kidding. But yeah, Revenant XSpark Superwalk, they've got a Crow with themselves. Now, the Crow was banned in almost every other game. It's not this one. They had got some different bans. They wanted to ban the Kid. They wanted to ban some different brawlers out there. Yeah, as you mentioned, Griff and Max. Some usual default bans. And also the Brock and Meeple coming in. But this Crow is going to be a good one. Then you've got the Gene coming in for response.
Like
This is the exact kind of play that probably they were looking forward to see. And the Gene coming in to the comp should just fit in right, because again, he's a good controller, has got some good move sets, and you just want to pull them back to yourself. That's the main thing in the bounty game, and that's how Gene will be used, in my opinion. But also, I'm looking forward to see how the comp will be set by Revenant XSpark.
Well, I would love to. Let's see what is going to be the second pick. Then I like Gene, though I don't play much of him. But yeah, I have no complaints when a Gene is in the mix. We have seen a Gene so far. If you remember, Necros, I think you and AJ were the ones casting that game. But a Bell pick there. Let's see how they're gonna. Okay, great picks. Ellie, Ballet, and a Crow. So they are going bonkers out here. Revenant XSpark, what are you guys thinking? I think they already have a 2-0 scoreline in the mix in this BO5 series. So they are very confident right now that we are taking this home. But at the same time, Wigglyspoo, you go ahead, make a comfortable draft. You need a good composition. A composition that can uplift each other. All the brawlers that can help each other secure those victories. But there you go. I had a feeling that Surge is not banned. Maybe I can get a chance to witness some Surge gameplay as well. But I was not saying it, Necros, because I didn't want to ruin everything. But yeah, here we have it, a Surge pick. Wigglyspoo, all hearts to you. And Necros, I don't know, somewhere in my heart, I really want Wigglyspoo to take this home. This one BO5, this one BO3 side.
Okay, let's see if that happens, so because it is going to be an interesting round. It's going to be the bounty is what we are seeing, and yep, Surge is where we are coming in. We were having this conversation that by the starting of the day we might just see a good pick like that coming into the picture. But ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the third set in which we are kicking. If Revenant XSpark wins this one, they walk away as the champions for the third consecutive time in this Brawl Stars Challenger Southeast Asia. But if Wigglyspoo wins this one, they will push it to another round. And then we can just see if they wins or not. But yeah, Super Response gets taken down, and X9J starts things off on an aggressive note.
Well, that Ellie, you'll have to be careful of that Ellie so much, because she in the grass is so powerful. There you go, a second time. This time, Sergeant out of the picture. Revenant XSpark with 6 starts so far. Wigglyspoo with 5. So not a huge difference there, but at the same time, I'll again warn them, because that Ellie, whenever she's in the grass, she's a lot more powerful. So maybe try to counter that, or try to just retaliate her. Superwalk barely survived with only 100 bits of his health. Wigglyspoo, they'll be devastated to know that Ellie survived with only 100 bits of health, and she had 3 stars. They could have just taken those stars here. But this is a close matchup, and it can go anywhere, Necros.
Yeah, it can just go anyway. So far, it is going really very close. Exactly what it was happening in the knockout came, is what we can say. But Super Walk taking the time as much as possible. They just want
Good
to
connection.
get some breather for themselves. Super Walk still goes up close and personal finds down Jay. That's a big jump. That's a big jump for Killer. Oh my god, this is gonna hurt the likes of Revenant XSpark so much. 14 more seconds to go. You have to push past your limits. 8 to 14. Sergeant gets taken down. Super Walk goes all up close and personal, and now he gets compromised. This is done. This is done. It was a big gamble move, and now Wigglyspoo, they won't even go outside of this own area. First round secured. Wigglyspoo takes a lead.
And now you know why you need to ban that Surge out. He's just so powerful right now after the recent patch. He's got massive buffs, and I just love his super. That super jump was on fire, well timed as well. I think he already knew what HP both these brawlers had, and he instantly farms back his super as well. In the end, Wigglyspoo, they knew that's the perfect time. That's the opportunity for us to take this home. So I think two of the brawlers, they've utilized their hyper charges as well. But let's see. It is going to be a bit hard to farm them back. Primey there. Killer 34. The only downside with Surge is you'll have to be a bit aggressive, and that's what Killer 34 is doing. But a single wrong move and you might end up being the one on the death side. So be a bit careful, and that's what he's doing right now. Just look at those trick shots coming in from Colonel Ruffs as well. And Revenant XSpark, this time they are not at all even coming out of their spawn.
This is tough. But once again, Revenant XSpark, they have been pushed down. That's for sure. Maybe some kind of different strategy is what they are looking forward to. I mean, you have to change your approach, right? If you want to really grasp what Wigglyspoo they're up to, that's not something new for Revenant XSpark. But Super Walk this time want to go up close and personal and gets punished. This isn't exactly not the way things are happening. I mean, Revenant XSpark, they had some different plans, but it's happening in another way against the odds. Everything is going in the favor of Wigglyspoo. 4-2 is the scoreline, and Revenant XSpark, they are looking a bit tensed, or maybe a little bit under pressure of what to do next. Killer gets taken down. Some advantage is where we are saying, and Primey will be thrashed as well. 8-2. Exactly how Revenant XSpark wanted to play. Pounce on the opportunities, get the stars as much as possible when the moment is right. Do not overextend. A good approach indeed, but oh, is this gonna work out? But Super Walk, this is a big blunder. Giving away so many stars, and right away it is gonna be Wigglyspoo equalizing.
No, that's gonna be a draw right there. Who had the blue star though? Let's see who's got the win. Okay, it is Revenant XSpark. I guess they had the blue star. But what a play that was. I just loved how Revenant XSpark, they were just being very cautious, and that Ellie, he was constantly looking for the right opportunity. Let's take a look at this round 3. Revenant XSpark, they've won that round number 2, and it's a 1-1 equalizer right now. Ellie, he was constantly waiting that whole time in the previous game, and he's just gonna replicate that kind of a gameplay, because that's what you need to do if you're committed on playing an Ellie. But at the same time, the support that came in was equally powerful as well. Well, Ruffs, his gadget, his super is something you cannot afford to waste. So Respo needs to be a bit careful right there. Primey trying to connect some shots. Super Walk once again. Just look at that Ellie. So aggressive. Well, that's the only way, the only right way to play that Ellie. There you go, Super Walk once again. He's trying to pounce on the on some brawler, but Wigglyspoo this time, they're very carefully dodging all his attacks.
They are. I mean, Wigglyspoo is also a very good team, an experienced one.
Oh, look at the
They adapt to the situation. Super Walk, he has done some exceptional job. And Killer goes all up close and personal, finds down Jay. Super Walk is in a really big trouble, but finally gets Killer down, retrieves the stars. They have the blue one for themselves. Super Walk and Revenant XSpark. One thing is for sure, they have found out that if we go all in, it is going to be problematic for us. So let's just stay in our own area and fight it as much as possible. Defend when it's possible. Super Walk goes all in, but oh, gives away so many stars. The blue is compromised. Wigglyspoo, they have it. And if the score is like that, it's going to be problematic. But yep, Revenant XSpark, they still have 1-star advantage. This is where they want to look forward to. But that was a big gamble indeed. That was indeed a very big gamble. Response deals a hefty amount of damage. Killer and Primey will be bouncing in. Super Walk and Jay have to do something better. Now Primey wants to be up close in person. Killer's HP is way too much low. Wants to go for another kill, but Super Walk gets taken down. 11-10 is the scoreline, and Wigglyspoo, they will win this one, and they will push it to another set.
Man, now that's the final. These are the kind of games I would love to witness in the finale of Brawl Stars Challenger Southeast Asia Season 3. What a play from Wigglyspoo. I think they have heard, they have heard me from the bottom of my heart. I really wanted to see this kind of a surge play. I think you have also noticed it was mostly a surge versus Ellie going on, because Ellie, the attacks are very powerful, the damage is insane, but those jumps, every single time that Ellie jumped, it was so well timed. She was dodging all the attacks, also getting most of the kills for Revenant XSpark as well. But yeah, I'd love to see what happened in that game. Let's take a look at the highlights. Surge was farming his super in quite a manner. At the same time that Ellie, she had great damage, and I just loved how much patience Superbox had, because you really need to be very patient if you're looking for some good kills on that Ellie. Just look at those scenarios, man. He was going all in and was coming back alive with so less of his HP. So that's the kind of Ellie you wanna be if you're planning to play Ellie in ranked or in any of the esports matches. But with this, Wigglyspoo, they get their very first set win. Remember the early two sets that Revenant XSpark has won? It was Jam Grab, it was Brawl Ball. They also ended up with a 2-1 scoreline. And now this was the third set. This could have been the decider if only Revenant XSpark would have won this. This could have been the final game of the day as well. Let's take a look at our MVP. It is Revenant Superwalk. Even after all of this, Superwalk managed to get 29 kills, which is an insane number, with only 23 deaths and an average damage per second of 245. That player is phenomenal, and the brawler he picked, he knew that brawler inside and out.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. And if we just talk about the entire game that was happened, it is really close. Response and a Super Walk, they're just inching closer, that's for sure. But right as of now, the scoreline kind of settles in a 2-1 scoreline. Two sets being won by Revenant XSpark and one by Wigglyspoo right now. And now this is a 2-1. Probably the kind of score that I was looking for. Maybe a 3-1 is what we can see if we just move into the next one, which is going to be the hot zone in the Ring of Fire map. It is going to be interesting how things will unfold. While Revenant XSpark, they are definitely facing some more problems as and if you kind of compare it with what happened in Season 2 finals.
Well, I would love to see what happens now, because yeah, we have already seen a 3-1 scoreline when Revenant XSpark and Wigglyspoo had a chance to face each other in the previous season grand finale. But this is a different season. A lot of time has passed, and you've got a lot of days to practice around, learn how the other team is outperforming you or is winning against you. But there we have it. It is the Mag. Once again, Superwalk. He's gonna pick that Mag, even though this time he had the chance to pick that Stu. But remember, we will have to remember what the mode is. It is hot zone, and you need the HP you get with a Mag. She almost gets a second life there. So I think that is something what Superwalk is looking for, what Revenant XSpark is looking for. It is going to be a Finks pick to counter that. A great pick for sure, one of my favorite brawlers. But what are you gonna pair it with? What is going to be your second pick? How much HP? Let's see.
Yeah, exactly what I really want to know. You've got a Finks out there on your side, then you have got a Meg on the opposition. You bring in the Lumi back. Primey on Lumi has been exceptionally well, and they don't want to risk it at all, which does make a lot of sense. That okay, I've got some. I know what I am picking. I just know how to play it right, so why just not pick it? Primey might just go for an exchange, but Lumi has worked out for like wonders for Wigglyspoo in the recent past time, so they just want to get stake, while Superwalk will be sticking with the Genji, but Sergeant is the one picking up at first, which does make sense because the Genji pick did work out pretty well in the second set on Superwalk when we saw it in the Brawl Ball. Hopefully they want to bring the A-game up, because this hot zone, they will require the Genji to step up, and it has to work out in a good manner. If it doesn't, it's just going to backfire Revenant XSpark too much.
Well, let's see. Let's see what's gonna happen. Kenzie is a great pick there. Okay, they're gonna get that B as well in the mix. Revenant XSpark, they are giving us a little bit of masala right here. Let's see. This game is going to be the spicy one right now, because we have also seen a 3-1 in the past, and I most certainly do not want a 3-1 here. No matter who wins, I would love to witness that game number 5 in this BO5 series. Lumi is a great pick. You've got a Pierce as well, so yeah, some good long distance shots. You can also control the hot zone. So you've got a control based brawler Lumi right there. But then again, Sergeant on that Kenzie, I think we all are well aware how OP he is and how devastating that can be for Wigglyspoo right there. Responsi, I think his super is something I'm looking forward to, because if he utilizes his super correctly, he can help his teammate by a huge margin. Let's see what's gonna happen, ladies and gentlemen. This could be the final set as well. If Revenant XSpark ends up winning this set number 4 of this best of 5 series, this could be a 3-1 scoreline. But there's a catch. Will Wigglyspoo allow this? Because they have a great momentum. They've just won a set. The past set belonged to them. Killer34 gets the first frag and B goes down, which means Wigglyspoo, they are going to be the very first ones to step in that hot zone.
Oh, that's for sure. A good amount of damage is what we are seeing. Wigglyspoo having a good control. Primey will get J down as well. Sergeant Superwalk walks in. The damage is surreal. Superwalk needs to go up close, but oh, the damage is so much. It's just too much to bear, and the Pierce is doing a hefty amount of job. Jay is still there surviving, waiting for the right moment of where they can gain the advantage. Sergeant trying to level up the percentage, brings it down to 20-19 as Revenant XSpark. They're looking forward to get a little bit of lead, but it will be equalized by Wigglyspoo in a blink of an eye as Jay, the attack he's coming with, the super, the hypercharge coming in, will be looking forward to kind of deal some damages, maybe get some kills, but Wigglyspoo, they are definitely making a serious comeback.
Well, indeed, whenever you're playing a Pierce, how many shots you can connect is the most important thing, and that Pierce, he is connecting some very hard shots there, and that's why he's also farming his super pretty quickly. But Sergeant, with that hypercharge super walk, is trying to retaliate at the front lines, trying to make a distraction out of the situation. But with this Revenant XSpark, they've already got 65% on that hot zone, and they are not planning to leave anywhere soon. Just look at them. They are making sure that they're getting at least a single kill. Finally, a team wipe there, and Wigglyspoo, now they're going to control that hot zone, and they need at least 10 to 20 seconds there if they are really looking for a win.
Oh, indeed. And we are just looking forward to see some exceptional plays, and Revenant XSpark, they just not want to give up this position, and Jay gets taken down, but an instant trade came in from both these sides. Quick exchanges being done. Superwalk, Sergeant both goes down. Jay will be pushing them off from that place. It's a nail-biting competition is what we are seeing from both these ends, but oh, Wigglyspoo goes all close. It's in the 95s as well. The timer is taking 3 of the players there, and should be a win. It is a win. Wigglyspoo, they take the first round under their way. This hot zone seems like Wigglyspoo, they have got everything under control, and Revenant XSpark, my oh my, they are just being taken down inch by inch, and there is no response to that.
Man, Wigglyspoo, this team, they are proving us right. I think we have been saying this for a long time now. If there's a team in Southeast Asia that can take on Revenant XSpark, it is Wigglyspoo. Some ex-teammates right there know how Sergeant thinks and how he plans things. But with this, once again, Wigglyspoo gets all the 3 brawlers, takes them down during the early stretch of round number 2. And by the looks of it, they have a great control. Lumi, she does have his super there. Superwalk is trying to close up a bit, but Pierce, just look at those shots. Meanwhile, Pierce is going to utilize his super before going down. And there you have it, Mag. No matter how many times Mag is trying to gain the control of her huge robotic body, but every single time Wigglyspoo, they're making sure that she is not on field for a long time.
Oh, that's for sure. They are making sure that the Kenji doesn't get the allowance that he was getting so far. It's just a blessing to the eye that you see Wigglyspoo playing like this. One player change and you see so much impact in the entire team's play. Killer's presence is super dope, but also this time Superwalk gets him down, tries to get some counters, Response trying to make a distance, not trying to get closer to Superwalk, because that Kenji is gonna be a big threat. His HP is too low, but Superwalk gets him down along with Jay's help and dodges, but not too much. Lumi finds it down in the right moment. Killer gets shade down once again. Wigglyspoo, even if they are being pushed back outside of the hot zone, they just know how to make a comeback and grasp their spot in that zone itself. But Superwalk gets taken down one after another. The Kenji has been denied so many times. You can see the things stepping up. Primey doing the exact job he's supposed to. And it's just a better gameplay from Wigglyspoo.
Well, those hyper charges, they were fired. X9J once again, this time he might even go down, but Killer J, look at his HP, only 1000 HP in. He's gonna utilize his super, will he? Sergeant, he's also barely surviving, but still not giving up. But this time Lumi is gonna get him. Wigglyspoo, only 5 more percentage, 3 more, 2 more. All he needs to do is keep a leg inside that hot zone, and that is exactly what Wigglyspoo is gonna do. With this, it's an official comeback right here, Necros. The comeback we have all been waiting for. The only single time we've seen this is the third consecutive season of Brawl Stars Challenger Southeast Asia monthly finals. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, Revenant XSpark, they have clearly dominated season 1 finale, season 2 finale. But in season number 3, Wigglyspoo, they are cooking something else. They are cooking their story, and I don't know, man. Whew, it's so much fun, Necros, because this comeback came after losing 2 consecutive sets, right? They've lost Jam Grab, they've lost Brawl Ball. So they were already 2 rounds down out of 5. But after that do or die situation, they had immense pressure on themselves. But even after all that pressure, they somehow managed to secure a victory in the 3rd set. And what a victory in this 4th set, man.
This is crazy.
Winning
This is
against
literally
Revenant
crazy.
XSpark in hot zone is crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
And probably this is the kind of comeback that we really wanted to see from Wigglyspoo's side, just making it more interesting. And yeah, I guess your words have been heard. I mean, we are going towards the decider, that's for sure. And Heist is going to be the mode where the things will be decided for this Grand Finals of Season 3. Exactly the kind of Grand Finals we wanted to see from both the top teams of Southeast Asia. They're just trying to get more and more interesting. Revenant XSpark, they have faced the consequences. So far, they had such an easy peasy ride in the entire season. The last 3 seasons for sure. They had so many clean sheets for them, but I feel like this is the first time they are facing the concussions. They are facing those blows against them, and this is a little bit hard for them to digest.
And you know, Necros, this was the very first set that ended up with a 2-0 scoreline. Not even Revenant XSpark could beat Wigglyspoo with a 2-0 scoreline today. The first Jam Grab was a 2-1, then Brawl Ball was a 2-1, and the third one, Bounty, was a 2-1. But this one, Wigglyspoo, that was a clean victory for them with a 2-0 scoreline. But let's take a look at our head-to-head. Superwalk 34 kills, Wigglyspoo team Killer 34-30, but the catch is in the deaths. Wigglyspoo Killer 34, he had a much better KD ratio as compared to Superwalk. And that KD is very important when it comes to hot zone. How long you're on field matters a lot. How long you're staying in the hot zone, that matters a lot as well. And I think, Necros, you must have noticed how in both these rounds, just a bit around the center, I think the mid time, there was a moment in both the rounds that Revenant XSpark, they had around 70-75%, and the Wigglyspoo, they were on 40-45-50%. But after that, in both the rounds, a fight came in. Wigglyspoo, they utilized all the super hyper charges, everything they had, and I think that was the turning point for them. I hope this confident and this wave that they are carrying with them can take them through the grand finale, because the next one is going to be the mode of Heist. And there's one good thing for Wigglyspoo. They've got a Chuck on their hand, which is, I think, the best brawler you can utilize in on the mode of Heist.
Indeed. And then you have got a Case and a Crow on the other end of Revenant XSpark. This is just getting interesting. I'm really loving the kind of drafts I'm seeing. But so far, we have to keep things in mind that, you know, not a lot of brawlers have worked out that well for you, for the comp. So if you are making such kind of changes or you're bringing some more unorthodox brawlers, it should not just backfire you. But Case is a good pick, but on Killer you see a Pierce back.
Well, Kaze is a great pick. The only downside I see with a Kaze on the mode of highest, that is if she's unable to reach the safe. Because she's a physical brawler, she cannot just throw some attacks from a huge distance, right? So she'll have to make sure that she's getting to that safe. On the other hand, Chuck, he can just utilize his train abilities, can just go directly to the opposition safe, can deal some amount of damage and quickly come back to his teammate side. I think that is a pretty decent advantage. Pierce gets a huge range, unlimited shots, so he can also deal good damage. Finks there is a great pick as well. But on the other hand, I'd love to see how Crow is gonna perform, because Crow Super can deal a lot of damage. And all these brawlers, they'll have to be very careful that you're not just taking all those Crow shots head on. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard to survive as well as to take care of your safe.
And now the last penny pick coming in from the side of Sergeant is something I'm really looking forward to. A controller which has worked out in the past couple of games. We have seen yesterday the penny pick. It had a good impact. It was utilized precisely, but let's see what happens, because ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is going to be the final set of the grand finals between Revenant XSpark and Wigglyspoo. This is going to be the Brawl Stars Challenges Southeast Asia Season number 3 grand finale. We will be getting the winner after this series. This set ends. But the main question is who is going to take the lead, because Wigglyspoo, they have a great momentum on their side.
They definitely do. They definitely do have a great momentum. And Respo is also getting ready to do what he can do the best. There you go. The super comes in and now he's going to deal a huge amount of damage. At the same time, Kaze, I told you the biggest challenge Kaze is going to face is to reach that tip. But finally, Super Walk, even though he had a very low HP, still managed to secure some shots on the safe. 74% versus 59%. So far, Revenant XSpark, they have a great lead, but for how long? Because Respo, just look at that Super. The train is gonna go back, but will be taken down by Superwalk in the midst. Kaze, if she can somehow make to the save once again, she can take it down to approx 20-25% very easily.
You can see the damage. Super Walk, it's getting down.
Look at the turret.
Damage
Look at
is
the
so
turret.
much intense, and yeah, exactly. It did a hefty amount of damage, and finally it's 26-18. Revenant XSpark, they have to be hurrying up things a little bit for themselves, because otherwise things are getting dicey. Gives a good amount of damage, but Jay gets completely thrashed out there, and Revenant XSpark, I don't think they're going to survive. 5% remaining, and the damage is done. Wigglyspoo, they will be walking away the first round for their side, and what an immense play is what we are seeing from this team. A major comeback in the series, and once again in the decider set, you walk away with the first round. And Revenant XSpark, they are definitely under so much pressure.
Man, there were some blenders from both the ends. Chuck got plenty of time, but at the same time, that Crow Super in the end, I think the timing was not the best. You can figure out now, because the shield kind of nullified most of the damage. But with this Primey is pretty low. X9J might go down. No, he won't. Respo is also making sure that he can just start off his train journey and can deal a lot of damage. There you go. Respo goes in. He's gonna flag the other safe as well. With this, Superwalk goes down, and with Kaze gone, Sergeant gone, and the Penny, she couldn't even utilize her turret so far. Her turret is very important to deal a huge amount of damage on the opposition safe. Crow comes in with the Super, gonna deal a lot of damage, but Killer still survives. No, he won't be able to survive that after effect of that poison. But with this, so far it is Wigglyspoo who are in the lead, and Chuck, he's constantly dealing some damage.
Oh, he is. And you can see Already the kind of impact that we are seeing from their end, and Response gets taken down. Super Walk has to do an immense job for sure. And now we can see the tank, the turrets giving a hefty amount of damage. Response waiting for the right moment to strike in. Sergeant gets taken down by Killer. 40% is the remaining health of Revenant's safe out there. But now it's depleting as anything. Drops down to 23, 35 for Wigglyspoo. The competition is just nail-biting. Revenant XSpark, they will have to go all up close and personal, trying to give a hefty amount of damage. Primey deals a lot of damage on himself, drops down to 25. It's a close one. Revenant XSpark just trying to do as much as possible. The turret is giving hefty amount of damage, but so does Revenant XSpark's HP is depleting, and it's done! It is done! Wigglyspoo, they have won this, and they've defeated and they've taken the revenge of what happened in Season 2. They win the Grand Finals and they win the Season 3 of Brawl Stars Challenges Southeast Asia with a 3-2 scoreline. And what a play by this team.
I have no words right now, Necros. That is what we all expected. That is what we all wanted to witness. But it felt impossible just a few minutes ago. You cannot think of any other team that can win against Revenant XSpark. And even after winning 2 consecutive seasons, Revenant XSpark, this was the third one, and they were totally locked in for it. And they were so close to winning it with a 2-0 score line to begin the whole series with. But after that, Wigglyspoo, the comeback was unreal. And this highest, the Chuck pick, absolutely worked out for them. Penny, her turret dealt a lot of damage in round 1 as well as in round 2. But somehow Chuck was always outperforming the whole of Revenant XSpark, and in both the rounds, it's not like that Wigglyspoo had a huge lead. Their save was what? Once it was on 12% of its HP, in this one it was on 10-12% of its HP. But those final moments were the decider ones, and their Wigglyspoo, I think they outplayed them. Congratulations to Wigglyspoo. They have came into the finals in Season 1. In Season 2, they lost 3-1. In Season 3, they won with a 3-2 scoreline, which was not at all easy, but they did it.
And one big factor is that the Chuck pick worked so well for Wigglyspoo. I mean, you have to give that draft credits to them, the way they've performed. The Chuck was doing some really hefty amount of damage out there. Then the Killer came in. Jay got thrashed so many times on that crow. We have to just kind of witness of what just happens. But nevertheless, you know what? Revenant XSpark, they have done some good job. They have won 2 back-to-back seasons, but this time they might get a wake-up call before the regional finals come into the play. So yeah, that is where things will be looking a little bit dicey for Revenant XSpark, because Wigglyspoo, they are seeming to be really in the zone, while Killer being in the comp, being in that roster, replacing Hiroshi. It has worked out wonders. This season for Wigglyspoo has been amazing, and once again they're getting back onto the momentum what they were looking forward to, and probably before we jump into the regional finals, they will be much more prepared, and probably in that regional finals we can see a bit more aggressive Wigglyspoo in a comparison to what we saw in today's day.
Definitely. The MVP goes to Killer 34 with a total of 41 kills and only 24 deaths. That is insane. A very impressive KD, average damage per second of 282.91. Very impressive stats out there. Necros, it is not this season was not only great for Wigglyspoo. I think it was a great season for whole of Southeast Asia, because you want someone that can challenge Revenant XSpark in the coming weeks as well, in the coming seasons as well. And that's what Wigglyspoo is doing right now. I think this was a great season for us as well, Necros, because yesterday in the quarterfinals, we got to see a great comeback from Cutie Patooties. It was a 2-0, and then Cutie Patooties got 3 consecutive victories and ended up getting a slot in the semi-finale. And now in the grand finale, we've got to see another great comeback that will mark history. And I would love to see what happens in the regionals now, because Wigglyspoo, Revenant XSpark will come for you, and they'll try to get their revenge out of you, and that too in regional finals where the stakes are gonna be much higher. So I'm not sure how Wigglyspoo is gonna prepare, but they'll have to go hard on themselves. They'll have to make sure that their preparation is enough to counter the best of Revenant XSpark.
Yeah, that's for sure. And this is how the season 3 ends. Season 1, season 2 champion Revenant XSpark, they feast a big defeat in season 3. Not a big, I would say, but still a competitive defeat against one of the top teams of Southeast Asia. And you have to give them credit. It's number 1, number 2 competing against each other for 3 consecutive seasons has been amazing. And right away, this is how the season 3 ends. We have had an immense 2 days of action, but there is still one more day left in the competition. That is going to be the 18th of this month, the regional finals, where the debates will be settled. People winning it out in the regional finals will be flying down to Istanbul, Turkey, and that is going to be the land finals of Brawl Stars challenges this entire season. I'm really excited to see how things will unfold, but we will be quickly jumping on to the brackets for the one last time of season 3 of how things started. Revenant XSpark faced the first match against Raging Bots, but they got a bye win and entered in the semi-finals. While Seafield and Onyx ID, they played a match with a 3-0 sweep. Seafield entered in the semi-finals, clashing, and then we had the other 2 matches.
Well, those were great as well. Meanwhile, Wigglyspoo and Revenant XSpark, they also managed a clean sweep 3-0 victory in the semi-finale. But finals was a completely different story. Revenant XSpark, they were planning a 3-0 against Wigglyspoo for sure. They've also secured 2-0 victories, 2 consecutive victories in the early sets of the BO5. But in the end, it was Wigglyspoo, and what a phenomenal comeback that was. I'll remember that comeback for ages, man. That was insane because nobody was expecting something like this. Revenant XSpark, they were undefeated for the most part of this Brawl Stars Challenger Southeast Asia. Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, even winning a set against them, what a huge deal. But this time, Wigglyspoo, they decided the otherwise. But with this, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a great time with you all. But with this, Season 3 now comes to end. Thank you so much for joining with us. We'll take your leave, but you do not go anywhere. Subscribe because regional finals are coming up.